As the room filler, be sure to hit the like, share this content, let that friend or that neighbor know where to go when it's time. And I mean just that absolute time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and Beyond, your midday sports analysis brought to you by Law Nation Sports. Come on. Success is subjective. Come on. All right. Mama said there'll be days just like this.
Ready?
Come on.
Run from it.
Salute to all of the sponsors. Come on, baby.
Now
It's here.
what should I say? I am.
Yup. They say ain't no party like a cowboy party. Ain't no party like a Law Nation party. But what about this free agent groove? Come on. All right. Come on. Stand to your feet, baby. Come on. That's this room fill up. Sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to share this content all around the world, the globe, and beyond. The off season.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like it. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team. Right. They have all the assets and resources that we don't. Let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors
Come on.
in. I guarantee you it will.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you beautiful people that's out there, and the ugly ones too, man. Shout out to all of y'all. If you're the beautiful ones, put one in the chat. If you're ugly one, just put two in the chat. I got nothing but love for you, baby. Come on, man. Let me see some ones in the chat. And on top of that, let me know if the audio's straight too by pressing 1. So I shouldn't see no 2s. You know what's going on? Yo, appreciate y'all, man. At the end of the day, my job is to get one person to laugh. Come on. Oh, man, we got some 2s up in there, man. K-Front. Hey, mad at you.
I ain't mad at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby. Appreciate everybody, man. And that is a reason why I said that is subjective. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? And subjective analysis is when you say to yourself, okay, all right, well, hey, regardless of what it is, I still like X, Y, and Z. Some people think that just because they put raisins in their potato salad that they unlock the code to how potato salad tastes great. But collectively, they in a room by themselves, right? Because no matter how you put it or spin it, that's still raisins in the potato salad, and we don't want that. But one thing I can tell you, that with the Stephen Jones in the front office theory, no, this is not a theory to them. This is their true philosophy, right? This is their creed. This is what they believe in. Hit the weed and grieve. It's a cold. Oh, my bad. I turned into Tupac, man. My bad. Y'all. But it is what it is, Cowboy Nation. So they believe in their creed, and their thoughts are, hey, what you do in the free agency, you pay good players like they're great, right? And you pay the absolute good players like they're supposed to be. I guess you can lose out on a lot of money. So that's why they say, hey, they're not even going to touch their hands on it because they don't want to overspend. Now, to a degree, You can be right with that. To a degree, two things can be true. You can take a good player and you pay him like great, and you can take a bad player and you pay him like he's good. Those are things that we can all say to ourselves, yeah, because there always be inflations, right? You know, the last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, gas itself was 75 cents in Natchez, Mississippi. A gallon. How much gas is now, y'all? Let me know in the chat how much gas is. And boy, oh boy, we would love to have gas 75 cents a gallon. Come on, man. But back in those days, when we were winning the Super Bowl or won the Super Bowl, it was 75 cents. So a quarter is different now than what it was then, right? It's $5. Ooh! That must be my West Coast. That must be my West Coast Cowboy guys. $5.70. All my West Coast people say it's $5. In Mississippi, it still probably be $2.95 or something like that. You know, yeah, a spleen. That's what somebody put down there. Gavin put an arm and the leg. You know, 6 in Los Angeles, man. I just say, man, I'll walk, man. You know, I'll walk. Yes, indeed. L.A., you're gonna have to either rob somebody and say, hey man, hey, give me all your gas. What about the money? I don't want the money, I want the gas. Give me the gas. Oh, and Longview is $2.98. Back in the days, me and my brother, we would ride and we would have a car, and you know, we were charged to give people rides, you know. We were charged, you know. We even charged the ladies back in those days, you know. Yes, indeed. We would absolutely. Ain't that right, busybody, you know. Yeah, shout out to Longview. So we would charge. But it's all subjective now, because the amount of money that we charged then would not be the amount of money we charge now. And that's the reality. So now that we got everybody in here, appreciate everybody for tuning in. The name is Law Nation Sports. We talk Cowboys football and beyond. And 7-Eleven, since y'all are the official gas station of the Dallas Cowboys, hook your boy up with something, man. Come on, man. Hook your boy up with something. Come on with it. I know y'all got it. You know, I don't mind handing out gas cards over here, man. But appreciate everybody. Gas, cash, or grass. You know what I'm saying? Sean, yeah. That used to be what we say to the fellas. You know what I'm saying? But for the ladies, it was what? Go ahead, put it down, Sean. Go ahead, put it down. Sean, you must be from Mississippi. What we used to put down for the ladies? But now I think that people won't even take that no more. You know what I'm saying? They're like, nah, man, give me the money. We don't want the ASS. No, give me the money, girl, you know. But I'm Chinese kidding. Well, hey, you know, I'm not in China. You know what I'm saying? I'm Ice Spice. Well, but hey, we need something nice with cash. Come on, we don't want that, you know. Let me leave people alone. Yes, indeed. Somebody like, shoot, nah, man, give me that Ice Spice, man, you know. But neither here nor there. The Dallas Cowboys, I've looked back and I listened to 105.3 The Fan. They talked about the philosophy of not making moves due to the fact that you can miss out on some compensatory picks, meaning that they want to ration out what they do as it relates to willing and dealing, because they don't want to miss out on some 5th-round draft picks and some 6th-round draft picks. One thing I can tell y'all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the globe, is they love their picks. That's precious to them. It's more valuable than rubies and gold. Diamonds. It's more valuable, hear me out, than a Lombardi trophy or a ring. They value their draft picks. They covet those things. Let me know if I'm lying. You know, they value their draft picks. And it took me a minute, and I got some research. We're going to go all the way down And shout out to you, my guy, Italian Cowboy. Why you don't have a wrench, man? What's going on? Are you the real Italian Cowboy? You supposed to have a wrench. Let me know in the chat. But here's my thing. We're gonna listen to these boys. And shout out to Bobby Belt and shout out to my guy Dre. He repurposed this over there on his channel. But I got to do one more thing before I pull that up. Hold on, pull a string and I wink at you. I'm your puppet. I'm your puppet, baby. Boom, 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 bam. Here we go. Pull a string. Here we go.
The great Bobby Belt.
You ruined the morning show.
Don't make me take off my belt.
Don't make me take off my belt.
We're not.
Yeah.
Open up and say, Cowboys fans.
Okay.
It's time for your red pill. You're getting it today.
What? Well, I've said a couple of those lines before.
Yeah.
We're going with Robert Stack, Unsolved Mysteries today.
Like it. Good show.
It's such
Listen
a good
to
show.
what they
Peace,
say.
right? He passed?
Yeah, he passed away like right after the show ended its run in like 2000, but Netflix has
fast forward
rebooted
just a
it,
little
and
bit.
it's like, okay, why are the Cowboys not spending? Why are they being as cheap as they are? Which or is it even cheap? Is it
Listen
just
to
team
this.
building? Like, hey, we've looked it up and it doesn't make sense to spend this money. Well, we all agree they've got a lot of contracts that they need to get done in-house, right? Like, Choppy, that had been your theory the entire time was, look, don't go spending free agency. All in means taking care of your own.
I thought that's what they meant. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
They just haven't taken care of their own.
All in means maybe literally putting it all in at the poker table and not even actually on the football team because they're not spending it there right now. If you look at waiver claims, extensions in-house, free agent signings, and trades, it totals up to all the spending that's been done this offseason by NFL teams. We mentioned this earlier. The Cowboys have spent $11,130,000. You go, okay, well, what does that look like in the context of the league? Well, for context, the second to last place team in the NFL of the lowest amount of spending is the Los Angeles Chargers, and they've spent more than 3 times that amount this offseason. They've spent $33,625,000.
All right.
The Cowboys are spending at a rate that we've never seen them. Like they are holding on to their purse strings more than they ever have in any offseason. Even all those other previous offseasons where we thought they've been tight. The one offseason where they utter the words all in is the one where they are the most tight that they've ever been. So I saw this the other day. The NFL
listen to this part right here.
Compensatory.
Listen to that part right here. And before I go further, I just got to tell my guy right here. Chris Roller says subjective. Hold up, all of the Lombardi trophies since 1995, they are completely fine with being mediocre. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Here's the thing. Jerry Jones made more money post Super Bowl era than he absolutely made money during the Super Bowl era, right? So he's going to look at it like this. He done bought a helicopter. He done built a $3.5 billion stadium. He built a $2.5 billion workout facility. And then on top of that, he done bought a yacht, a helicopter pad. And on top of that, he landed a 10-year contract with Oxnard. And on top of that, with the TV revenue split of the NFL, they done sink the deal of $111 billion with a B. And the stadium that he got built in Arlington, he didn't have to reach into his own pockets. The absolute city of Arlington pays for that stadium, and the taxpayers' dollars pay for it from the local people. So for those who paying property taxes and beyond, they are absolutely paying for that stadium, and it's just got his bloodline and his name on it. And he also closed deals on multiple other stadiums with his contracts where he get a kickback on, and he got an ultimate unbelievable real estate firm. And we just seen that he sunk $100 million in some type of local stock that I need to go ahead and trail that one too. But that's just how that goes. So subjectively, from his eyes, he can say, hey, I'm successful. How many owners can say that they got 3 Super Bowl rings? Put it in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. How many owners can say that they are a Hall of Fame, right? He got a gold jacket. How many owners can say that they achieved the things that he achieved, right? So from our point of view, We looking at it like 12-5, 12-5, 12-5 is not enough. It's not success for us. But if the New Orleans Saints were 12-5, 12-5, 12-5, they would be sitting there saying, yes. That's why success is subjective. We are upset and angry because we are the Cowboys. It's just a different type of levels here. For example, some of you guys may look at me as being successful. I'm a successful content creator. Compared to my own, yeah. But me compared to Mr. Beast, I would be unsuccessful. That's why it's always say, don't spoil what you have by desiring the things that you don't. Because at one point in time, the things that you very much so have is something that you dream for, wanted, wish for, right? So from the eyes of, that's what subjective means, right? So that's just how that goes. So I can be miserable every day and say to myself, man, I'm not on Mr. Beast level. Man, I don't get the attraction that Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast started his channel tomorrow, and he already got 1 million people. He can start up a whole new channel in 2 weeks and can trump any Cowboys content creators, just like that. He is beyond success. So Mr. Beast is equivalent to a Pat Mahomes over here. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm the Prescott. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It is what it is. So let's listen to the rest of this part right here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in.
I saw this the other day. The NFL doesn't make its compensatory pick formula public. Like, teams don't know what it is. No one's exactly sure. They know it's some combination of like playing time, contract value, playoff success, statistical performance. This is weird formula they have.
Right.
The NFL literally calls it a proprietary formula. Why they think they would need to call it proprietary, like anybody else would take it from them, I don't know. But they don't make it public, so teams are never really sure what comp picks they're getting back.
Facts.
But there is one person, his name's Nick, and he writes for Over the Cap. And he has developed a reputation in the football, news blogosphere as the guy who is the closest to having the formula right. Because he generally, with his comp pick projections based off of what he's read in the CBA and some other things, looking at past data, he is over like 90% hit rate on being able to call what comp pick you're getting back for somebody. Oh. So he's really good. And he caught my eye the other day because he was talking about the Tyron Smith contract that was signed by the Jets. He says Tyron Smith played 71.5% of the snaps in 2023. So the second split here, remember the first playtime incentive and then the second playtime incentive we talked about, is that the first set is classified as likely to be earned under the CBA, and the second is not likely to be earned. That means that for comp pick purposes, his annual pay, the CBA would look at it as $12.25 million. That's how much Tyron is looked at as costing to the league. And because of that, that means that around that comp pick, and if he plays at the available snaps, the Cowboys will get for his departure, the comp pick will be a 5th rounder. Because as a player that has accrued 10 or more seasons, the round this contract generates is capped at the 5th round. So you can't get any more than the 5th round pick.
Okay, hey, we got a 5th rounder.
Not bad. You don't just have one. Because he then recaps where the Cowboys are at right now.
So basically, this is a long form of trading Tyron Smith for a 5th round draft pick. This is you got to understand the mindset of those boys. They love their draft.
They get a 5th next year for Tyron Smith. They get a 5th next year for Tyler Biotis. They get a 5th next year for Dorrance Armstrong. And they're getting a 6th for Tony Pollard.
Man, the whole day 3 is just the Cowboys.
I know.
I mean, they may have every pick.
And you know what jeopardizes those picks? Those picks are not set in stone. You could still lose them.
Yes.
You know what jeopardizes? Signing somebody. The whole...
Here you finna break it down. Shout out to Bobby Belt, man. This dude is a legend over there. I love his research. Watch what
Stone, you could still lose them.
Yes.
You know what jeopardizes? Signing somebody. The whole formula of the entire comp pick formula is based on, okay, if you've lost somebody in free agency, we're gonna give you resources to replenish it if you're not signing veterans.
Okay, question.
Mm-hmm.
If I lose a left tackle,
yes,
in free agency, do I? But and the only person, if I lose one left tackle,
right,
but I sign one linebacker, does that offset the left tackle, or do I have to sign a left tackle
So
to lose the comp pick.
It's generally, I believe, because again, it's one of these things they don't explain to teams.
They don't break
the
down.
thought process is generally that it's based more on like the amount of money you're replacing that went out the door.
Are you telling me that the Dallas Cowboys are being cheap for 5th-round picks? Is that your conspiracy
you can trade
theory?
all 3 of those.
Yeah. The more and more we realize, man, what the Joneses are doing, man, the more and more we realize that they got a plan. People, I didn't think that they had a plan, but that's their plan. That's their plan. We done our job. We did all what we can. We draft pretty well. That's the reason why we can't go out here in free agency, because we draft well. The other teams don't. And we value our draft picks a little bit more than what they value out of theirs. So that's how that goes. And it is, reinventing how to be cheap. What was my guy on Boomerang? You know, he said, you got to coordinate. And a little piece of a jacket or something ripped off. And he said, well, what I can do is I take these and I'll put it, make it earrings. You got to coordinate. You got to be able to renew. That's going to be the word again, renew. Some of the things that is already usable, right? You just got to renew it. You just got to figure out how to reinvent it. So that's their philosophy and principles, because now here's the thing. When you do it that way and you reuse and you also try to say to yourself, I'm going to build it myself and not go out there and get a known commodity versus the unknown, then you will have those hiccups. You will continuously have those things, whereas you will miss out. And great teams, they look at it and say, yeah, I'm just going to use my brother's team, the refresh. Shout out to you too, bro. He'll appreciate you. I'm going to use my brother team for an example, the 49ers. Who was the other running back? He had 1,000 yards. He was looking really good. His name was, I think it was Elijah Mitchell. They found him in the later rounds. From a mindset, they could have said, hey, this is our guy. We can get 1,000 yards from him. We found him in the later round. We paying him dog food money. He ain't making a lot of strides or what have you. And we can be okay with just that. And we can still win games. Right? Two Broke said recycle. Right. But then what if somebody said, but what if we go a little bit deeper? What if we go a little bit harder in the paint? What if we add to that? And somebody scratched their head and said, what do you mean? Well, he do have some inefficiencies. Our system is good enough, but what if we get a CMC? Holy snap. And they said, okay, let's pull the trigger. But you're going to lose on some stuff, but that's okay. Hey, man, you know, we got this quarterback still on a rookie's contract. We also drafted a quarterback in the first round, and his money is up. I can't figure out a way to pay this man $25 million. Well, let's find somebody to trade with him. Dancing partners. Oh, who's the dancing partner? Okay, the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys didn't even allow other people to participate in Trey Lance, because they said, okay, as a former first-round draft pick, let's give them a fourth-round draft pick. I don't care if we overpay in that. But do they really, at that time, do they really need it? From the Cowboys' philosophy, yeah. But on the flip side, the Niners, they looking at it like they are trying to win the bowl. And I ain't talking about ice or anything like that. They talking about winning the Super Bowl. So they said, okay, if they're going to pay an edge rusher quarterback money, let's not build everything on him. Let's bring him more and more help. They went and got a Javon Hargraves, right, for the interior plug. They went and spent on Chase Young. They did all of that to lose still in the Super Bowl, but they was 9 yards away from lifting up that Lombardi trophy. 9 yards away. You got to diversify. Yeah, Italian Cowboy. You got to diversify that portfolio. Yes, indeed. You may lose a little here, may gain a lot here. But neither here nor there. Let's listen to the rest of this piece right here.
Fifth to get a fourth, Sean. So,
I mean, let's look at it this way.
Is that what you're telling me? That they are letting all these people go for Awesome Richards, Matt Waletzko, Deron Bland, Damone Clark, John Ridgway, Simi Fehoko, Bradley Anai, Michael Jackson, Shimoni, Joe Jackson, Mike White,
Jackson.
Ryan Russell, Devin Street, Joseph Randall, Josh Thomas, D'Angelo Smith, Mike Hamlin, David Beeler, Orlando Scandrick, Pat Watkins, Sean Ryan, Pete Hunter, Matt Lair, Michael Wiley, Darren Hambrook, and Oliver Ross.
See, you're looking at this all wrong. No.
All those fifth-round picks, that's what you're telling me?
They're saving it for George Kittle, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Richard Sherman, Matthew Slater, Kyle Williams,
All right.
Trent Cole,
All
Robert
right.
Mathis.
I
Dwight
retract.
Glover.
But at the end of the day, if you do your homework, you can still draft those type of guys. You don't have to do all of that just to get a George Kittle. Matter of fact, we drafted Ryan Switzer over George Kittle's. Come on, man. Let me know if I'm lying. We drafted Ryan Switzer. And then we traded him for a Jihad Ward, right? You know, it don't make sense, right? And that's all crazy, and that's a whole nother bag of worms that we can talk about later. But there's two sides to every argument. Now, Tyreek Hill going to the Kansas City Chiefs, phenomenal. Great finding for them. Tyreek Hill going to the Cowboys, fire and brimstone. How dare you draft a woman beater? How dare you draft a criminal? You know? Oh, man, he would have been suspended. If y'all thought that Ezekiel Elliott was suspended for alleged incidents, these are tangible things, mugshots that I want you guys to go look up. He wouldn't have been able to walk on Cowboys silver and blue land because the 3-letter, the 4-letter network be like, oh, be damn. Look, the Cowboys are signing a woman beater. Oh, no. Ban him. Suspend him permanently, you know. That's why I say, and yeah, somebody said, yeah, blame Dak. Yeah, Dak Prescott fault. You right? Yeah. So we wouldn't have been able to draft a Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, some of those suspensions on Randy Gregory were due to the fact that he played for the Cowboys. If he played for any other team, he can roll one all he want. They would have said, you know what? Hey, just roll one, man. Keep rolling it. You know what I'm saying? Literally. Come on. Where you at, Snoop?
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah. I had my guy, Scott, to interview. We used to call him the Joker. You know what I'm saying? Who remember my guy, David Irvin, right? Yeah. Any other team, he would have been allowed to roll one up. On technicalities, they had to figure out a way, I'm paraphrasing, they had to figure out a way to introduce him into the program, even though he skated by that he wasn't even really illegally smoking weed. But they said, oh, man, we see something change in your particular diet because you had X, Y, and Z, so we're going to say that you had PEDs. He said he got busted for PEDs. He said, man, I'm David Irvin. I don't even do any of those things. I might roll one here and there, but they put him on a PED situation, performance improvement, whatever, you know what I'm saying, performance enhancement drug, I meant to say. Excuse me. Just so they can bust him for smoking weed.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, Daddy says Megatron was higher than a kite every single game. Every single game. And we haven't seen not one report of him getting busted. Why? Because he played for the other silver and blue team, right? He didn't play for the Cowboys. If we were to draft Megatron, or even Randy Moss to that degree, it would have been like, hey, you know what? It would have been just like this. Oh, my goodness, we got breaking news. Breakout superstar for the Dallas Cowboys, Megatron, is suspended indefinitely due to his love for the weed. You know, a lot of people didn't even know he smoked weed until after he retired. Even if we had Brett Favre, you know, that dude was hitting up, shooting up Toradol, right? You know, he was taking all type of drugs. Half of the time he was high, you know, he was high. That's why we was like, okay, that's what Brett Favre is doing outside of taking people money allegedly in Mississippi. But that's a whole nother conversation. Don't sue me, Favre. I put the word allegedly in there. I don't have Pat McAfee money. But you guys get what I'm saying. All of y'all know it's two different rules. It's harder to play over here in the Cowboys land. And it's even harder to be even a Cowboys fan because we don't have to fight against 3-letter and 4-letter networks. We fight against ourselves. Oh, yeah. And, I do prefer plants over pills any day. You know what I mean? Come on, man. We all prefer that. You know, shout out to my sponsors, Rogue Shop. Be sure to check them out. They have some alternative things that can help you out down the line, especially if you're dealing with any anxieties and things like that. So go to rogueshop.com, use /Law Nation, you know, or Law, and let them know that I sent you there. They got a team of people that can talk to you about your choices if you need some help in selecting, you know what I mean? And that's a whole nother conversation. Appreciate each and every last one of you all. Yes, indeed. Sean says garlic. Yeah. No, don't put that garlic around Jerry Jones. You know, I heard he probably allergic to garlic. That's why he used a lot of salt. Y'all leave me alone. Yeah. But back to this thing right here, baby. Let's listen.
So let's look at it this way. Since we're gonna dive even deeper into conspiracies, and we're just talking here.
Where's Derek Holland?
Who like that? I could see them saying that. Like, look, we're not in love with these players. We're not gonna go out and sign anybody else and lose those draft picks. We'd love them. We got deep draft classes coming up the next few years. Who is the innovator behind that thinking? Who was the first person who really attacked the NFL that way?
Okay,
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick never re-signed people. He always let people go. So maybe if
Shimoni, Joe
Hold
Jackson,
on.
Mike.
I messed it up. Hold on. Here we go.
The NFL that way.
Bill Belichick.
Here's why we can't do Bill Belichick like that. Because Bill, the difference is, and of course he had some leverage with Tom Brady, man. Psycho Tom, man. You know, now if you dig more and more researches on Tom Brady, he just, I don't know what he did in life, man, but he got the rabbit foot in his back pocket. He never bust a mirror or walked under a ladder. There's research said that wherever he been, in high school he was winning, in Michigan he was winning, even in the pros he winning. Everywhere he went, and everywhere he went, he was also the backup, you know, starting up, you know, outside of Tampa Bay. That was the first time he wasn't the backup going into a situation. Everywhere he went, literally back up, something happened to the starting quarterback, he gets in, they win. He did it in middle school, high school, college, and this dude is phenomenal. And on top of that, you know, it's just what it is with Tom Brady. I tried to bet against him many of times, and I end up with empty pockets, you know, outside of the 2 times with the Giants. And 1 time with the Eagles, I was in the middle place of that one. So you know what I mean? But neither here nor there. When you look at Bill Belichick, one of the things that he also exhibits and exudes is he will flat out get rid of a player 2 years on the front end versus 2 years on the back end. He was notorious. Chandler Jones, I believe, played for him. And he said, hey, sayonara, man, go ahead and get on up out of here. Hey, and then we're going to put some ice spice in your stuff. You know what I mean? We're going to find some ways to get rid of you, and we're going to look clean with it.
Smoke weed every day.
Allegedly, he got hit up and bust up with some fake stuff, not the real kind. But if he used promo code LAW and was able to hit up Rogue Shop at the time, he would have been okay. He would just have to dodge some of that stuff with the NFL. That's all I'm going to say on that. But he got rid of him soon, and he didn't get rid of him too late. And when you do that, you can get more and more things back in return. And that is how Bill Belichick did his thing. And he would not be able to do that here.
Belichick. Bill Belichick never re-signed people. He always let people go. So maybe if you're one of the big conspiracy-minded individuals and you see Bill Belichick sitting out a year and wondering about how would Bill Belichick build this team? What does he want in his pocket? And wondering about how would Bill Belichick build this team? What does he want in his pocket? Does he want a bunch of veterans that he's going to walk into next year that he didn't pick? Or would he rather come in and go, oh, good. You guys wrangled up all those comp picks I love so much that I always use to build out my team with. Thank you. This is perfect. So if you're one who thinks maybe Belichick's just waiting around for that job, maybe that's part of it right there.
Why didn't they just hire him this offseason?
They would have pay out McCarthy.
Look, that's blue pill thinking. We're doing red pill thinking. Okay,
Like the coach was there and available.
Open up your mind a little bit. I like the Belichick part. I'm being sort of facetious about, but I do think genuinely 100%. I think the Cowboys do weigh. Do we want to give up that pick to sign this free agent right now? I think they absolutely do think that way, and I think that's probably.
And if anyone, and if they want to build, if they want to base any hope off of 5th-round picks, then just please, just sell it. Sell it as soon as possible.
I don't think it would be like basing it off of 1 5th-round pick, right? It would.
I just read you 30 of them.
No, right, but I mean, it'd be about being able to.
They're basically bums.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, but you could also structure it around like they got Anthony Brown in the 6th round, they got Xavier Woods in the 6th round, Tony Pollard was a 4th, Biotish was a 4th. Like it's in that range for them. And so to me, they've got a really good history of picking guys on day 3. And you mentioned DeRon Bland already, and so I think for them it's just about give us darts to throw. Like DeRon Bland was a pick that was made in a cluster of 3 5th-round comp picks that they got.
Man, if you trying to do that, and you say, okay, that's my philosophy. Whereas I don't need a DJ Reader, I don't need a Chris Jones type, a Jeffrey Simmons type. We got that at the crib, right? You know how you when you're little and you're young and you see, ooh, McDonald's, ooh, KFC, ooh, Popeyes, and mom and them saying, hey, we got chicken at the house. We got hamburger meat at the house. We got hamburger helper at the house, you know. And we sitting there like, wait a minute, can we at least stop by and get some of that fast food stuff? Can we at least stop by and just stop at a Chili's, you know? Can we at least stop at somewhere, man, to get some food that's going to be prepared by someone else? And mama and them saying, we got food at the house. It's better for you. Moms be right. You know, pops be right. There's food at the house. You be sitting there like, man, come on, man, everybody else. Come on, man. I want some of that, man. You know, and one of the things growing up, it was 4 of us, 4 boys. Them J's, MJ's, them Jordan shoes, no. We got the Converses at the crib, man. Come on. Yes, indeed, man. We got some British Knights at the house. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting to know. If you pay that much money for them shoes for all 4 of y'all. No. But hey, man, Ray and them, they got the J's, man. Why we can't get done, you know? That's how it was, you know. And especially, I'm telling y'all right now, being in the middle, boy, we always got it bad. Being in the middle, you got it bad. We didn't get free lunches and stuff, man. We had to pay for all food. We're like, hey, man, they getting all the food. Why we don't get that free lunch over there? Man, your parents make too much money. Wait a minute now, hold on. She ain't making that much money. You know, the Pumas at the crib ain't the right expert. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. The LA Gears be lighting up everything, and Reeboks, you know what I'm saying, with the pumps on it. You know, with the basketball, you pump it up. pump it up, you know. Yes, indeed. And then I was a middle child, so we had a shirt that went down from the oldest child all the way down to the twin maker, you know. I'm sitting there like, hey, man, that's my older brother's shirt, man. I remember him wearing that, you know. Yeah, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Why that duck all faded and everything? The collar got a permanent dirt ring over it. Why I can't get nothing new? Why he getting everything? The felines go hard, man. You know, before Forever I Love Atlanta, you know, that went hard, you know. But that's just how these things goes. That's how the Joneses are treating the Dallas Cowboys, literally. the K-Swiss, baby. Come on with it, you know. And to this day, I can buy a gang of MJ shoes. I can buy any kind. You can put them out there, I can go get it. Guess what? I don't even wear MJs to this day. And he wasn't even my favorite basketball player growing up. I've been a Laker guy through and through. You know what I'm saying? I still mad at them doggone Bulls. Shout out, if you're a Chicago Bulls fan from the 90s, let me know. Put your Bulls love in the chat. And if you never been to Chicago, let me know too. And you still root for the Bulls. Yeah. Appreciate y'all. No offense to y'all. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's how they are working these type of things. Not the 91 finals, Lord. Yeah. Pippen fan over Jordan. Oh, Ray, come on, man. Them fighting words right there, man. Yeah. Yes, sir. MJ for life. I see KT. But he did change the game, though. MJ did change the game. Marketing, everything else and beyond. I think he was the first player to be a billionaire or something like that, or able to make all of that money. Shout out to them. And shout out to the Adidas, man. Adidas up in the house, man. Shout out to y'all, man. But at the end of the day, I'm from a small town, so we didn't have fast. We didn't have Orions. We didn't have Chili's. We didn't have all of those other nice type of chain market restaurants. I didn't start seeing that stuff until I got into my 20s or when I went to Jackson State. Yeah. But let's go into this other conversational pool about the way when the Cowboys, when they fixated on something, they are not changing. When they lasered in, and if they like you, and they really do like you, they gonna go get you in the draft. I remember a couple years back, we seen Dan Quinn working out Sam Williams, and I think one of y'all like, hey, they for damn sure finna draft him. You know what I'm saying? And then before you know it, you looked around and you saw in that draft room, you know. Yeah. And the same thing with Jalen Tolbert, the same thing with Randy Gregory. They was waiting. They said, oh, he rolled one. Hey, tell him to roll another one because we finna draft him. We were like, hey, no, wait until at least the third or the fourth round draft pick. He still may be there because he was the only guy who was smart enough to flunk the drug test on the day of the NFL Combine. We were like, hey, he might go undrafted, you know, because who in their rabbit mind will go up there higher than a kite, you know? But the Cowboys like, shoot, that's second round draft pick. Yeah. And then there was another guy. Who else we can pull up? Jalen Smith. You know, we saw the game where he snapped his leg or his foot all together, and I think it was when he was trying to tackle Ezekiel Elliott for some strange reason. Right. That was the game he got hurt. Y'all let me know. Was it Ohio State versus Notre Dame? It had to be that game. And we were like, yeah. But, hey, man, I don't know, man. You know, he may not ever play again. And then the second round came around. It was we were like, come on, man, you know. And they did it again. Sean Lee. He was hurt before even thinking about drafting him. And he was like, hey, man, if he's there, let's go get him. Oh, yeah. Where's Bruce Carter, man? Carter! We were like, Bruce Carter, man, he's phenomenal. Bruce Carter was so good, y'all, when healthy. Oh, my goodness. I think to this day, there's no Cowboy linebacker to have 4 INTs in one season. Bruce Carter was quick fast. Oh, my goodness. He was in the second round, wasn't he? You know, man, God, dog, Bruce Carter was nice. But he had knees, man. He had them bad knees, man. And now I'm looking at this other kid, the boy that everybody's saying that, hey, Peyton, you know, he would be a nice guy here. And even though he haven't been hurt in 2 years, I'm not trying to put that on him at all. But I haven't heard reports from Cowboys land that they've been high on him. But we did hear that the Cowboys been high, John Legend high, on Jonathan Brooks. So what are your thoughts before I dive into something about this Jonathan Brooks? Who else I'm missing out in the second round that was very questionable? I know I'm missing out somebody. Who was questionable in the second round? Who else? Oh, Calvin Joseph. Literally he only played 14 games. Kelvin Joseph literally only played 14 games in college. But he had extreme high upside. His claim to fame was, hey, picking off Devontae Smith. The quarterback was trying to throw it his way, and he picked him off. And we were like, yeah. And truth be said, outside of his rapping career, that little drive-by shooting thing, we always thought that, hey, give this man a chance and an opportunity, and he couldn't beat out Nashawn Wright. Injuries came about, releasing music came about, the dude had priorities everywhere, and people were scared to talk to him. He barely talked, it just that right there. Boy, we can go on and on and on about these second round picks. Oh my goodness. Who else? I think I'm leaving out somebody else. And to a degree, my guy Sam Williams, he had some transgressions before he was drafted or what have you. But on the up and up, him and Trayvon Diggs probably be our cleanest two guys in the last 10 years that's coming out of the second round. Cheeto, I thought Cheeto was the third. Tristan Hill, oh my God. We can't get right, baby. Let me just play this before I. Cool.
That's where the guts went. Just dropped them.
Here, I'm gonna say this Tristan Hill, and then we're gonna go into this other conversation. Tristan Hill was a guy that was benched in college due to his lack of preparation, his size, and how he was handled with the teammates and how he got into it with the coaching staff. Tristan Hill, when he was drafted, before that time frame, Rob Marinelli was talking about the fact that, hey, he loved his orphans. He had one guy that he named Golden Cock, pause, because I can't remember the man's real name. He had a Benson Mayowa. He had some guys named George Selvey. He had some hungry guys, Malik Collins, I believe, at one time. And he was able to get production from them. And people were literally saying, hey, if this dude can get production out of those guys, I think he can get production out of anyone. Jack Crawford, and the other Tyron Crawford. He got productions out of all of those boys. Mincy. Was Hatcher still under that administration? Was Hatcher with my guy? He could have been left right before we got Rob Marinelli. But neither here nor there. So the time that they gave him, and I'm not going to speak on Galvin Escobar. I think that I'm going to touch on that, Chris, in a few on Galvin Escobar. But I definitely truly believe that the time they gave Rob Marinelli a chance to make a pick in the draft, they should have said, you know what, we still want you to sit this one out. We're going to give you more and more orphans. What if I told you, and I know hindsight is 20/20, but these boys passed up on Juan Thornhill, they passed up on DK Metcalf, and they picked Tristan Hill. I think that they also passed up on Crosby or someone. I forgot, Max Crosby, somebody. They passed up on a lot of guys that we were all banging on the table for, and they were sitting there like Tristan Hill, and we were sitting there like, his births is good, all could be quick. But his mindset wasn't there. I remember I was out there in Oxnard. and he went live on Instagram. He had a whole tray of donuts, 2 gallons of the milk, the red cap, not even the 2% kind. And he was chugging them donuts down, and he was also chugging that milk down like, I jumped into that chat. I said, hey, man, you might want to chill, man. We finna go to Oxnard. And that was when Law Nation we wasn't even at 100K at that time. We talking about second round. We talking about second round picks, not the first round. But we talking about second round when they take the risk players. That joker, he was like, hey, I'm good. I'm going to be ready. The very first day out there in Oxnard, and y'all all know Oxnard, it's not like it's 100 degrees out there. It's 72 degrees year round. It's cool breeze, over there. Here it is, 10 minutes or 15 minutes into practice. We hear him, breaking news. Cowboys' first pick of that draft, because, we didn't have first round pick that year because we traded it for Amari Cooper. Here's literally what happened. Breaking news, Tristan Hill passed out. You thought that he was down in the Hennessy like I was a couple of months ago. But no, he passed out. Belly touching his back of throwing up and sitting out there sweating, looking like a swollen burrito, just a nasty, like they've been left out in the sun. And we sitting there like, welcome to the NFL, player. And ever since then, he didn't ever get a chance to play. Yeah. That boy passed out, laid out like Family Guy. I was sitting there like, God, dog. See, he should have been listening to Law. Yeah. Hey, man, I don't never see you play in the NFL, but I know not to eat whole milk and doggone donuts for a day before training camp. Yeah. But, man, we missed out on some opportunities. But neither here nor there. Going all the way back to this year's second round draft pick, they talking about a developmental situation of watching. And I'm not saying that he is that, but they talking about this right here. Let's see if I can find this clip for everyone. Basically, get ready for the Cowboys to draft Jonathan Brooks in the second round. Listen to this.
But the name I think that most people...
Blow it up a little bit more.
But the name I think that most people should have an eye on and have the most interest in, and boy, it'd be another Blue Star special. It's Jonathan Brooks, the running back from Texas.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Brooks.
D-tackle running back, first 2 rounds,
let's
baby.
do it, man. Championship.
You look at Jonathan Brooks, to me, he's the best running back in the draft, to me. I think he's really, really good.
He good, y'all.
Graded in the first 2 rounds by just about every team, or
most teams would have him, I think, in the second round. Could he have gone up into the first? Like, could teams have, if they would have seen him finish out the season, gone in the first? Possibly. So. The problem is he tore his ACL in November, I think it was. And so, I mean, you didn't see him go against Washington or do anything in some of these big games because he wasn't available. He wasn't available to play the last several games of the season. We talked about it
run right here.
Before the CFP.
First guy missed.
And so Brooks is a guy that if the Cowboys want him, they're probably going to have to take him in the second round. And it was reported yesterday by Nick Harris at DallasCowboys.com. Jonathan Brooks is one of the Cowboys' 30 visits who will be coming to the Star. And those 30 visits where they can do medicals, have you there all day, do whiteboard work, a bunch of different things. Those are very important to the Cowboys. They generally, like, you will see every year they're going to pick 2, 3, maybe up to like 5 players off of that visit list. And so Brooks coming to town is big.
He's coming to town, y'all. Look at it. That's A-gap run right there. They ain't catching him. He don't have breakaway speed, but man, when he get that momentum going, you ain't gonna catch him. Once he get the momentum going. Now he don't have that breakaway speed. But when you look at his tape, he do plays fast. He is shifty. He's not slight as it relates to his weight or what have you. And look, goal line run, yeah. Patient, vision, run behind his block, get in there. And, we do need more speed, but that's why you will have him in a situation with him and Rico. If I'm a betting man, what I think the Cowboys going to do is they're going to draft him. I truly believe that they're going to draft him because you hearing so much if another team don't. If he falls in that second round with the 56th pick, you can put your mortgage on it. Yeah. 6 foot 207. That's good size right there. And he got the frame enough to add another 15 to 20 pounds on that frame if you look at his frame. So when you look at him, you're going to say to yourself, it's going to be one of those things where it's in the 56th pick. The Dallas Cowboys select Jonathan Brooks because I'm hearing too many names being leaked in the second round. That's what they do. That's what they going to do. Now, here's what I would do. They can double dip. They can double dip in the later rounds. Get Frank Gore, too. I'm all about getting that bloodline for your mind. I'm all about getting that. Oh, yeah. But they may lean on Rico, Deuce Vaughn, Snoop Connor, as well as Hunter Luepke, and whatever we do on the back end of the free agency to go out there and grab them. Now, Breland Allen, I like him. I really like him. Oh, my goodness, I like that running back right there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Oh, yeah, I would love that. But y'all got to understand, it's not what we want. It's not what we say that they should go out there and get, because they don't do that. It's what they want. It's what they want to see with the silver and blue on the side of the star on the side of their helmet. Oh, man, I like Jalen Wright. Oh, my goodness, I like him in this. Oh, you're talking about a fast back that you can put in as a 1-2 combo and let Rico be the battering hammer for a second? Let Snoop Connor be a little ram guy for a second and then put Jalen in there to finish up and clean up? Yeah. Yeah, man, I don't want to tease y'all with Jalen Wright film. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, I like Trey Benson. I don't want to tease y'all with that. Cowboys don't do that. It got to be their ideal. Their ideal right now is Jonathan Brooks. They like Jonathan Brooks. Don't they got one of the Jones family down there at the Hook'ems school? Don't one of the Jones family go there? Don't one of their kids? I do like Bucky. Yeah. Short area quickness. Find the soft spots in the zone there and get upfield. Yeah. Do they have aren't one of the Jones families down there? And whatever he said, dad or granddad or stepdad or whatever it is, hey, I like this guy. Oh, you like him? I like him. That's how we got CeeDee Lamb. They were not even going to go grab CeeDee Lamb until one of the Jones Jr. said, hey, I like him. Let's draft him. They listened to him. Yeah, Jerry all in the toilet, Timothy. Hey, I can see y'all right now. Law, anybody but a Michigan player. Yeah, anybody but a Michigan player, They don't care if Chris Jenkins go to the league and be a Hall of Fame. They're like, nah, man, we don't want him. Junior Carlson, nah, man, we don't want him. We got too many Michigan guys. We don't like the Michigan boys. Ain't that right, y'all? Y'all still, to a degree, can't stand Jalen Lewis. I mean, not Jalen Lewis, but yeah, J. Lou. Y'all still can't stand J. Lou. Yeah. Chris says he would take him. Yeah. Brooks or Allen? I like Allen, dog. I don't have to wait around with my food, Jordan Lewis. I call that man Jalen. Mozzie Smith. Let's see where all of this happened from. Are you guys ready for me to talk about this? Let me see if I can pull this up right quick. I talked about this earlier, and I'm always with the bloodline situation. But let me see what he had to say about Jonathan.
I think Jonathan Brooks is a hell of a player, and he's of this crowd. I think he's the guy that is most similar to those three that I mentioned. Your Bijan, Jameer, Christian McCaffrey's, in that he's very dynamic running the football, and he is such a threat catching it out of the backfield. He's a slasher. He's great catching it out of the backfield. He's got home run ability. And then you look up and it was like, oh man, he only had 51 carries before last year. And so now you look at him and you're like, man, he barely cracked the 200 carry mark. These other guys have 400 or 500 carries. And it's like, in some cases, 600 plus carries. And he barely had 200. Gains yards, knows for the end zone, catches it well, good leader, really smart player. He's going to help somebody out. I think Jonathan Brooks is a hell of
a grade his assessment. Put a grade on that on Joe Klatt assessment. A, B, C, D. Grade his assessment on that, ladies and gentlemen. On Joe Klatt. You know, guy Glenn Capers, thank you for your super chat for $4.99. They always want first rounder grades, talent in the second round. Yet they seem to ignore the reason for the drop in the player's draft status. That's because they have the ultimate faith in their rehabilitation game. Y'all grading that man. C. They have faith. They have faith in their rehabilitation program. That's the word again. Rehabilitation program. They have faith in that. You know, they have faith in their team doctors. They ultimately believe in their philosophy. So that's why they'll take the risk in the second round. To them, getting a hurt player, injured guy, suspect guy, if he panned out, I mean the world to them. If he don't, then they like, okay, well, we draft well. You know, they move on. Renzo says B. Kevin says A+. I've been saying the same thing. He stole his notes from me. There's some tricks. Talk Media put B down there. Omega put C. Tariq says an A on his assessment. Now, I did a video earlier. This was just me just talking while I was at the red light, actually. I was at the red light, and I said, let me just talk about this right quick. And I spoken on bloodlines, guys. And I think that bloodline is something that we all need to see, and especially with the Cowboys, and understand that a lot of times we've been looking around and we pass up on a guy who have bloodline. And I've seen someone say, hey, what about Bobby Carpenter? He was a bloodline Cowboys pick and that didn't work out. Well, that's just one. But if you look collectively across the league, them bloodline picks, man, shoot, they panned out to a degree because these guys are pretty much prepared. Preparation is a must, and I ain't talking about H. These guys put their mindsets into it because they've been around. And when my video load, I'm gonna pull this video up and we're gonna put it over here. Let's listen.
Let me talk about odds, right?
The odds.
Drafting is all about odds, and there's no guarantees in the draft. However, there's a situation whereas you can see NFL bloodlines, meaning that most of these guys are prepared and they are ready, they are prepped for the NFL life, and they have a higher chance of succeeding. And that's what you're looking for. Chances of succeeding and success. And when you have guys that had kids that's going to the NFL, take a shot at it. That's all I'm saying. And if you are a team in need of a player, regardless of the spot or position, be sure to check out the bloodline for your mind. And all of these guys, one way or another, been phenomenal in their craft. And the teams that's out there looking for a wide receiver, why not, right? Looking for a running back, why not Frank Gore Jr.? Looking for a wide receiver, why not?
Why not?
Rice son. You know, he will be prepared. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared. So these guys, they are prepped, they are prepared for the overall vicious battle of the mindset of the NFL. Not saying that it's a guarantee that they will trump anybody else that's coming out of the draft, but 9 times out of 10, remember what I said, the odds, right? They will have a higher chance of being successful because they already seen it with their natural eyes growing up. So, hey, take a risk at getting some of this NFL bloodline for your mind. Let's get it.
Get that bloodline going, man. Now we may not have a shot or a chance to get Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm not saying that we go get him. Let's trade all the way up and go get him. Because he gonna be gone by the time the 24th pick. But we seen crazier things happen, you know. Shout out to my guy Voch Lombardi, gun under the seat guy, you know what I'm saying? But even if I think that they catch this brother with a gun under the seat with a blunt and a half cigarillo being rolled up a little bit, they probably still draft him earlier, you know? So, and regardless, even if he do got a face only a mother could love, we all know, man, let him be over here, man. Come on with it, man. Let's go get that dude. Yeah. Yeah, if it was possible, if he's at the 24th spot. Now, I've seen a lot of people say, what about the other kid, this guy right here? Shoot, y'all seen how he ran? He looked just like his daddy. Yeah, he looked just like his daddy. He couldn't turn that one back in. Yeah, you your daddy's son right there. Come on, grab him. You know what I'm saying? Grab him and hold him and grab him. Yes, indeed. Ray said the ugliest player make the best football player. Yeah, we don't need no pretty boys over here. We want them to be missing a side tooth. We want them to be having the the underbite. I think there's an overbite or underbite. I don't know, man. We need all of that. Yeah. We need all of that. We need all of that. Boy, he look just like your daddy, boy. Hey, Luke, I just bring him on just for principles, man. Like, hey, you know, I seen your brother, man. I seen what he was able to do. And we saw your daddy. So come on, man, let's go bring him on, you know. Just because we know this brother going to be dedicated for real, man. Come on with it. You know, all of these guys, man. I know we probably don't have a chance, man. Some of these boys because it's going to be already gone. Jerry Rice grew up a Cowboys fan. He thought that for sure he can get drafted by the Cowboys, and they refused. And he said that every time he played the Cowboys, he gonna try to give us the hardest time possible. Even though with his cheating self. See, all wide receiver didn't need to cheat. See, that dude's the cheater, man. And he went to Valley. He should have went to JSU. But yeah. But now I ain't gonna put no dirt on that man's name like that. But he did got caught with cheating, though. Let me know if I'm telling the truth, y'all, in the chat. And I can't stand Jerry Rice for other reasonings there. But I'm gonna tell you, all will be forgiven if his son come here and he balls out and he can do some unbelievable stuff for us, man. Yes, indeed. No law, they jumped in front of us and took him. You know, that's what happened. Boy. I forgot all about that action. Pal, appreciate you for reminding me, Dan. Yeah. Because he liked the Cowboys growing up. So in his hearts of hearts, he want to have silver and blue on him. Yeah. Who did he cheat? Oh, talk about what he cheated, Action Power. Let people know how did Jerry Rice cheat with them gloves, man. He had them stick'ems, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he had the stick'ems. He was the original putting the glue on the hands. But to help him catch, he used to catch bricks to strengthen his hands. His workout regimen was second to none, right? And if you look at it, you know, to this day, he got unbelievable records. There's still, I think Moss caught up with him. Did anybody beat Jerry Rice's record yet? He did it in a lockout year. Yeah. I would get Brandon Rice. And here's what I want people to say to themselves. Don't look at the measurables. Because looking at the measurables on some of these bloodline stuff will get you in trouble. It will flat out get you in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. They said T.J. Watt, the reason why they didn't want him because he was undersized and his arms were too short. My guy, Tacos, he had arms that can reach all the way around to China. Couldn't bend, couldn't burst and speed and dip that shoulder at all to get to the edge. I think the record that Jerry Rice did in the lockout year or what have you in the short year, I think is like 24, something like that, touchdowns in a single season. Something like that. I don't know for sure, but that's the record. In the regular season, I think he did it in like 12 games or something like that. Unbelievable numbers. Y'all let me know what the actual record is. Jerry Rice, he still got unbelievable records. Kelsey broke it, but I guarantee you he did it more games. Because I think Rice did it in like 13 or 12 or 13 games or something like that. But let's go and look at the scene of the crime. Let's go look at this. Appreciate you, Dre. He says he liked the boys, but keep doing this thing, Young King. Yeah. You like us, man. I can't read that first word, you love the boys. Yeah, I can't read that. I can't read that H-A-T-E. No. You love the boys, but keep doing your thing, Young King. Appreciate you, Dre. 24 touchdowns. Yeah, 24 touchdowns in a single season. Moss broke the record, but he didn't do it in the amount of games. Okay. Kansas City tight end, he broke the one. He broke one. Okay. Yeah. 24 touchdowns back in the day. That's crazy. That's crazy good stuff right there. But let me see if I can return to the scene of the crime. And this is where it all started because I want to be able to share this with you guys. Boom. Shakalaka. Boom. Here we go. All right, let's visit the scene of the crime. I had a time machine, and we went back to 2011 free agency. And this year, during free agency, this is when the Cowboys went and got a Marcus Spears. They read him up for $15.2 million. We don't even do that present day. Kyle Kozer, 6.5. Hatchard, 6. Sam Hurd, who remembers Sam Hurd? $4.1 million. And then Abram, 2.5. And Allen Ball, they got him for $1.2 million. And Sensabaugh, Doug Free, and all of those boys, they had to hit the can or something, But this is when the change of the mind happened, and they no longer trusted the free agency. This is when they really changed their hearts. We gonna fast forward to the year 2012. Who remember 2012? I'm finna return to the scene of the crime. Boy, we were some big spenders in 2012. Let's go all the way down and look at what happened. Let's see what happened. This is what changed the hearts of the free agency philosophy. This is when they got burnt and they never decided to go back to those things. All right, so they let Laurent Robinson go for $32 million. Ooh, that's a lot of money back in those days. You talk about the man got his own money. He went to the Jags. Brandon Used Car, that's what we called him, $50.1 million. That what really broke them. That hurt them. You're talking about breaking a team wheel on trying to wheel and deal. It happened that year. They put $50 million on him. I remember the situation there. They went and put 11.5 on McKenzie. They went and signed Kyle Orton, baby, for $10.5 million. That's a lot of money today. Oh, my goodness, man. Those 3 contracts there. Oh, my goodness. Then they said, okay, let's go get a linebacker, man. And they went and got a Dan Connor for $6.5. They let my guy go, Martellus Bennett. They let Martellus Bennett go to the New York Giants for 2.5. But, man, even at that time, people were fed up with Tony Romo, and I remember this before YouTube and everything. This was way before YouTube, and they said, "Put Cal Orton in, man. Cal Orton, man, he'll be the guy." So just like people, it's like revisionist history. It's like it's changing all the way around, and the right ratio, you know. Hey, they was like, "Hey, put Cal Orton in, man. Cal Orton is better than Tony Romo." Yeah, man. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. That's what everybody was saying. Put Cal Orton in, man. Yeah. There was a whole group of people saying, hey man, Cal Orton, man, he'll get us over the hump. He'll win the Super Bowl for us. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. And hey, you can't find a Cal Orton guy nowhere near now. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, man. It's the same song and dance, boy. It's the same song and dance. Oh my goodness. Boy, we went and lost Keith Brookins to the Denver for $1 million. Brady James went to Eastside Harrow team for $890,000. We didn't want to re him up. T-New that year went to go link up with Mike Zim, so we lost him, and he was 33. He was 33 years of age then. And then we went and got this dude Charlie for $700,000. Boy, we was on the move, boy. We went and read up my guy Kelvin Ogletree. Y'all remember him? And my guy Jesse Holly, man, he went off to the New England Patriots that year. Shout out to Jesse Holly, man. Show him some love, man, at that time. Yeah. Jesse Holly went to the New England Patriots for $540,000. These were our available players at that time. Stephen McGee, y'all see his name. He may be a memorable name. John Kitna was 39.5 at that time. Yeah. These are all our available players. Yeah. Boy, we had Ron Leary. He was only 22. They're playing around with him. They didn't want to really do anything with him. Jameez Olawale, shout out to him. We let him, I think he left and he came back. That's what happened with him. Boy, oh boy, look at all of those names and availability. All right, so that's what happened, y'all. Was this a successful situation? But what really broke the Cowboys back was the Brandon Carr situation. And then we can go look at all of what happened to present day. We go to 2013. Let's see what they did in free agency. They went and got a John Phillips, Victor Butler, Marcus Spears. No, we lost John Phillips. We lost Victor Butler. I remember that. And then we lost Marcus Spears to the Baltimore Ravens. That's when he started to hate He started to hate the Cowboys at that time because he felt like, hey, man, y'all can't give me no money. And then it was the rebuild mode. Mike Jenkins went to Oklahoma Raiders, Oakland Raiders, I meant to say. And then Justin Durant, he came here. They made a big press conference about JD, and they were saying, hey, if he could just get right, we'll be okay. Kevin Ogletree went to Tampa Bay. Felix Jones went to the Philadelphia Eagles. Y'all remember that now? Ooh. Yeah, we signed John Kitna for $55,000. That was our breaking news that year. We signed John Kitna for $55,000. We were about like, yeah, man, come on, man. We're going to the Super Bowl. But he was about to be 40 at that time. That's in 2013. Yeah. And then let's look at 2014. We're just going back, revisiting the crime scene, y'all. Let's go to 2014. We let DeMarcus Ware go. He goes to the Denver Broncos. One can argue all we needed in the playoffs, the time that we let him go, was the time that we needed ultimately an edge rusher. We couldn't fabricate pressure on Aaron Rodgers. The dude had one leg, y'all. But our biggest acquisition, our case of replenishing D-Ware was Anthony Spencer and going to get in a hint because Anthony Spencer, we renewed his contract, was Anthony Spencer and Henry Melton. Who remember that? We got that dude for $27 million for 4 years, and he didn't do nothing, man. He didn't bust through a wet paper bag. We absolutely lost Jason Hatcher. He was the last time. Jason Hatcher was the last interior guy. I want y'all to look it up to get us double-digit sacks. That was in 2013, I believe. He didn't have that type of year in 14. But, man, it was terrible. We lost Kyle Orton to the Buffalo Bills, and Terry McLaurin, we got him up, and we talked about how he was going to be good for us. And then when we got Jeremy Mincy, we were talking about, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to increase our interior play, and we're going to get some things going. Miles Austin had those Kim Kardashian hamstrings, and he just never was the same ever since he dated Kim Kardashian. I blame the Kardashian people, man, for his demise. You know what I'm saying? That's just how that goes right there. Daddy McCray, we lost Daddy McCray, man. All right, so let's fast forward to 2015, boy. Oh, my goodness. We're going to stop at 16, boy, because I don't want to have y'all too depressed over here. All right, so we lose DeMarco Murray. $40 million 5-year contract. He went to the Eagles. Truth be said, I've been telling people for a long time, Eagles fans, Washington fans, and as well as Giants fans, secretly, their owners and their GMs want Cowboy players. When a Cowboy player lose and get out of here, they absolutely be target number one, right? I saw a report earlier that Giants front office is banging on the table for Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah, they are. They banging on the table for Ezekiel Elliott. In some shape, form, or fashion, that's what they want. They want us. You know what I'm saying? Just like Dwayne Harris from Dallas, he went to the New York Giants for $17 million. I'm telling y'all, this is how it goes. We got my guy Greg Hardy for a cheap deal. That was a real cheap deal. But people made it like, hell, whatever he did in Carolina, he did it here in Dallas, which was kind of crazy. He got here and he was suspended for 6 games. He was suspended for 6 games. Yeah. And they still, to this day, can't find that lady testimony of what actually happened on that night that he threw her on the alleged bed of guns. But that's a whole nother conversation. But this is how this painful situation all occurred. Let's go all the way to 3 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. The phone lines will be open. It'll be brought to you by Prize Picks. Be sure to check out Prize Picks, and you can be in the mix as well. Prize Picks is one of those people that really been taking good care of Law Nation, and this company been phenomenal. And you can do the same with Prize Picks. All you got to do is just download Prize Picks and use promo code LAW, and you will be a part of the unique philosophy and situation that we do over there. Now, you have to be in the area that counts, and all I can say is if you in Texas, you should be able to play with Law Nation crew. All right, so with Prize Picks, 100% of your first deposit of $100 will be matched dollar for dollar right up to that point. They even have promotions, whereas you can just go over here and click on these type of things and they'll push it over through for you, and you can just slide and use their particular entries. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to just use their entries. Boom. And let's see what we got. 20 to make 200. Let's see if we can make that happen there. Place the entry. Boom. And we're going to share this, and you guys can do the same. Be sure to use Prize Pick promo code LAW, and you'll be in the mix. Shout out to your biggest 214. And hey, slide around, and there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the globe, let's get it.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands.
Come on.
Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again.
Come on. Let's get it. 657-390-7391. And on top of that, I got to announce one more sponsor for this show. I appreciate all of the sponsors too, by the way, for helping the nation out. We really appreciate y'all. Yes, indeed. In the lean seasons, we want to be able to tell y'all what you need to do in order to protect yourself 100% of the time. And I got it right here. Hold on. Let me put this in the chat, baby.
I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low.
Come on. Let's get it. 5, 4, 3, 2. And listen. Have you ever Googled yourself and were shocked to see your personal information exposed out there on public listing sites? Data brokers are making a fortune selling your information to robocallers, spammers, and others. Like they know where you live at. They list all of those things. Private information should remain private. This is why I'm pumped to tell you guys about my new sponsor, Aura. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your information and submit opt-outs requests on your behalf. Brokers are legally required to remove your information if you ask them to, but that makes it super hard to do. Let Aura handle that for you. You can try Aura free for 2 weeks using my link, www.aura.com/LawNationSports. Picks you in the mix. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Law? How everything going today, brother?
Hey, all is well. Can't complain, Chief. Talk to me, man. What's on your heart?
Hey, man, all I know is I just hope and pray that we can do something in this draft to help us on the O-line, because our O-line definitely needs some help.
Yeah, I'm thinking that with the 24th pick, they're going to go either tackle or center. Those are the two areas that they go at with that. And if tags are touching it, if they got like 3 or 4 guys that they really like, they can trade back just a little bit and get more and more picks for them in the second or the third or something like that. If tags are touching, if it's like 4 or 5 guys that they have tags touching, they can literally do that with tackles.
I'm hoping they do something because,
as
we already said, you had said this a couple seasons ago, they are slow on the draw.
They are.
Everybody else is moving fast, and it's like we stuck in the damn cement, stuck with our damn shoes on, like where we at? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm just hoping and praying that, hey, we get what we need in the draft, because right now, free agency, it's a wash now.
Yeah.
We can just go on and kiss that goodbye, bro.
Yeah, I would have stretched the show out 30 minutes to an hour longer if I were to just go in and just look at all of the free agent moves that they did, because I got data that go all the way back into 2011 that normally this is what they do. So really nothing changed. We didn't really make a lot of moves last year and the year before that and the year before that. We didn't make any extreme moves on first day or even the second day or what have you. It's amazing that we got Eric Kendricks. If he didn't have that relations with Mike Zim, we would have literally sat on our hands and say, okay, well, we're gonna operate on the back end of the free agency.
Yeah, and I want to know, what we're gonna do for our defense, because our defense needs some help too.
Well, how much do you think this defense will fall off from last season?
They're not gonna fall off much, but we got, like you were saying the other day, we need a middle guy.
Right.
That's going to hold up that hole, because they just been running over us like nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just gaining yard after yard. They could be like 3rd and 1, and they get 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like, good Lord, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
hell, we need somebody to plug up that hole.
Yes, indeed, man. We need someone.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, I appreciate you so much for calling in, Chief. Thank you for all
doubt,
that you
man.
do.
You know how I go.
Yes, indeed. Good call from my guy. That's Trayvon right there, not Diggs, because, the other one, he got things going. But I would say this, ladies and gentlemen, I know last year we felt the wave of momentum because all we were talking about, the two areas that we were all going back and forth with, one being DB, Anthony Brown. Who remember him, right? And when we saw Gilly, we was like, okay, that's immediate upgrade over there. Come on, man. I think that even Stephen Wonder and Ray Charles was saying, hey, yeah, that's a better spot for us. And then 2, when we started talking about wide receivers at that time, it was T.Y. Hilton, who was 33 in the 3rd years of age, right? And Noah Brown, he couldn't catch a cold, right, at that time. So when we got, and then, of course, y'all said with me, James Washington, So it was all of that negative feelings of Anthony Brown, James Washington, Noah Brown, T.Y. Hilton. So when you saw a name like a Brandon Cooks, we were saying, oh, man, we feel relieved, man. We got a guy that can really take a top off the defense, can run intermediate routes. But let me know in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, out of those 2, Brandon Cooks and as well as Stephon Gilmore, did Brandon Cooks move the needle for you guys in any way? Like, I get it, maybe 1 or 2 games you saw that Brandon Cooks, but some of y'all may have said to yourself, hey, man, I would prefer that he have T.Y. back or something, or figure out a way to will and deal get Cedric Wilson back, right? He didn't really move the needle, but he was a good name for us. And I'm not beating up Brandon Cooks. Hopefully, since he got 1 more year left with the Cowboys, we can see some changes with him, right? And I'm not saying that he was mad, but it was like, all right, he wasn't like, all right, cool, But we did get a chance to see more and more opportunities with Kevontae Turpin. And now that Michael Gallup is gone, not saying that we aren't going to have this big parade that he's gone, we should see a little bit more from Jalen Tolbert. We drafted him in the 3rd round for a reason. Yeah. TC says too small for Dak to use. My thoughts were, I thought for sure Brandon Cooks was going to be like or similar to what we got out of, what's the kid name that went to Green Bay? Went back, Randall Cobb. But what I overlooked with that is that, and hear me out, this is no shade that I'm trying to put at CeeDee Lamb nor Brandon Cooks, but they themselves play in that same spot. You see, when Randall Cobb was here, that was right before Lamb got here. In 2019, Randall Cobb looking pretty good because he was able to work that inside, find those soft areas, and then was able to expound and exploit on a lot of things, which was good for us, right? That was 2019, if I'm not mistaken, right? That's why not Brandon Cooks, but that's why Randall Cobb looked pretty good for us a little bit. So you had 2 of the guys in the same spot. Where Cooks would have got busy at a little bit more is where Lamb was lining up at. And Lamb, you had too many people just there. Yeah. Trip Ace said you need to show some highlights if you're going to do some hit pieces on Cook. No, I'm not saying that he's terrible or anything. My thing is Dak and Cooks just didn't cook to the degree where we thought that they were going to cook at. I like Cooks on deep overs. I like Cooks on some tunnel screens and stuff like that. But on those 9 routes, I would prefer for that to be Kevontae Turpin. Dak was throwing it all the way to the moon. I'm like, dude, Cooks can't jump that high. They wasn't on the same page. They were not on the same page. And you can't overthrow, I believe, Cavante Turpin. He got up under that ball. So that's just my thoughts on that. And that's just how that goes. But it is what it is. I got the next caller that's on the line from the 585. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix. Talk to me.
Hey, what's going on, Lost?
Hey, man, all is well. Can't complain.
Yeah, man, it's Tyreek, man. I look at the Cook situation like this. How can we really expect any of our receivers, especially the shorter receivers, to excel if you don't have a running game? You need a running game for people like Cooks, because he's good coming across the field, like you were saying.
Right.
And we didn't help our receivers out that much either, because it showed in the playoff game.
Yeah.
Without having a good running game or a decent running game, this is what you get. You get cornerbacks and safeties that's up closer to the line, because they or back from the line, because they don't have to respect anything. They don't have to come up and hit. You know what I'm saying? So they can sit in coverage all day.
Yeah, because yeah. So what I'm trying to imply there, and what you're saying basically, with Cooks, he got short area quickness. He got top speed. He's not that Tyreek type of speed where he stop and go, but he's still a 4.3 guy. He may be a 4.4 guy now, but his speed is like on those deep overs, some of your crosser routes or what have you. But he gets busy with that more so when he's inside of the slot area where Lamb was at. So when you put Cooks, and this is just from a DB's perspective, when you put Cooks on the outside on that X route, okay, all right, I can shield him. I can feed him into the middle of the field, because 9 times out of 10, if he can't get to that deeper third area and burn him, by that time, I done already rolled coverage over his way, and he's not able to eat in that fashion because he's not cooking people on the on zone defenses. He's literally killing people on man-to-man. And that's where I've seen where Cooks wasn't really valuable to a degree, because you had Lamb in that spot. Now, if you put Lamb on the outside, put Cooks in the inside, now that he can be able to eat that up, because he can find those soft areas in the zone, and then you can hit him on the stride or what have you, and you can see his skill set more. But the problem is you had 2 of the same guys in the same spot. That's why it didn't work for me, far as seeing him out there on the field. And that's why a lot of people saying, hey, put a bigger body out there that can be bodied up on the outside where Dak Prescott is accustomed to throwing those balls.
Yeah, because I'm looking at this. I'm looking at it like this too, as far as this draft goes. Mm-hmm. If one of these top receivers, a bigger guy, top receivers with speed, with getaway speed, and a pretty good route runner, is at 24, Dallas doesn't have the luxury of going away from that, even if it's a future lineman right there.
Right.
Because we gotta make. Dak has shown you he can deal with a makeshift line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He can deal with a makeshift line. So if it's one of these good breakout star dudes that we can team up with CeeDee Lamb, I think we got to do it.
Yeah.
We got to pull that trigger on that. I don't see walking away from that just because you got a star lineman sitting right here. We got to look for impact.
Yeah.
We need impact players.
We do.
You know what I mean? Because that's what we didn't have last year. We had one impact player, but let's have 2 impact players on the field.
Yeah.
Like San Francisco. They got 2 impact players with Ayuk and Debo.
And don't sleep on, Kittle's there, because he's that guy. And Ferg is that guy for us, right? And these are not excuses for Dak Prescott, of course. He got to get in rhythm with these guys. And I'm talking about he had all offseason, right, to get in rhythm with Cooks. And I know Cooks, he got hurt in the offseason, and then he got hurt, I believe, in that week 1, week 2. In his first game really playing here was a Cardinals game, and that was kind of like, hey, Come on, man. But at the end of the day, we need some help at wide receiver because teams were not even in fear of the other guys. They were saying, okay, well, we'll roll coverage Lamb way, and we'll just shut down Lamb. Anybody else? Okay, yeah, first killing, right? So that's what it was. Yeah. That's what it was with our team.
Yeah, because you got to look at it like this, though, Love, because the Cowboys, this is why I need Stephen Jones and Jerry to get out of the war room as far as picking these players and putting certain people on these teams because they don't know what they're doing, man. They should have understood from that San Francisco loss that we had in San Francisco, you need another impact wide receiver to help CD Lamb.
Right.
You took away Cooper. And then you go with this lame duck draft last year.
Yeah.
And and it was full of running backs. And you could have got a good receiver last year and a good running back, but you didn't want to do that. And I think they're failing us as an organization trying to put a good team together. They're failing, man. Now we scrambling, letting high-paid players go. That's not helping us when we need the help. You need those players when the rubber got to hit the road, man. And that's what we're feeling at. CD Lamb needs another impact player on the field that can do a little bit of what he do, but do some other things that obviously he can do that he's good at. You know what I mean?
And you know what? And you know what? And I'm not using them as an example, but I am. I guarantee you, go on Twitter, the Eagles went and got another wide receiver, right?
Mm-hmm.
But why? You already got AJ. You already have a Smitty, right? You already have your other ancillary pieces out there as well, but they're looking at it like that's not enough for their quarterback. They also have a Dallas Goedert who can work the middle of the field, who can sit on some zone routes and give you option routes in the middle of the field. But they're looking at it like they need to make sure that they can get more and more guys, and this doesn't stop them from going into the draft to go still draft a Blair Thomas if he falls to them. They can still go draft a Leggett or whoever. They can still go draft wide receivers, but this is kind of like them making sure that they cover up any loose ends before heading into the draft. Whereas we on the other end, the Cowboys on the other end, we are hoping that the board falls our way because aggressively, I don't think that the Cowboys will even trade up to go get their guy. They're going to wait, and they may can trade back, but they're going to look at it like they need this board to fall for them. And if not, then they're going to explain it out the way they drafted. And that's how we got a Mozzie. Yeah. That's why we got a Luke Schoonmaker here.
Yeah, and that's the wrong mindset to have, man. It's like we're the only team that does this dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Because if a person gets beat a certain amount of times by drafting and doing free agency the same way, they switch it up. The other teams are switching it up.
Right.
But we the only team that just keep doing it and think it's all right. Then when they ask questions, they give you dumb answers like the fan base is stupid or something. Like that's what like grinds my gears with the Cowboys, man. It's like we could be way better than what we is, and it's like we're the ones that are taking ourselves. The organization is taking themselves out of contention to be contenders because they're not making the right moves at the right time. That's the problem. That's all I got to say, though, Law.
Appreciate you, Tyreek, man. Good call from the 585, man. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Reading the comments now, someone said, Lamb and Ferguson. That's enough what you need right there. I get all of that. And then people will say, hey, man, look at what the Chiefs were able to do with just Travis Kelce and Pat Mahomes. That's that 3%. That's a system that's been in place for years. They didn't start to say to themselves, let's try this new right now. No. Matter of fact, I don't believe Pat Mahomes, his first year with Andy Reid, won the Super Bowl. He was in that system. And I'm not taking away from Pat Mahomes. He is the gold standard. Or what's higher than gold? He's the platinum standard. Whatever is higher than gold, he's that standard. And one can say the same for Travis Kelce. So that's why I honored Travis Kelce and admired him when he said, hey, that Jake Ferguson, I see me in him. I said, man, we need to expound upon that. And the Cowboys said, that Jake Ferguson, we see Luke Schoonmaker. We see other guys. You know, they didn't see what even Travis Kelce saw in Jake Ferguson. So that's why they went and drafted, you know, a tight end, because he said that before that season even finished. Diamonds, okay, it's a diamond, boy. Rubies and all of those things, man. But I have my guy John from the 254. You're live on the Nation, brought to you by Prize Picks. You in the mix?
Hello, Nation.
Hey, John, what's good?
Good. How you doing today?
Oh man, better than I deserve.
I got a quick couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking on my Facebook page and I saw a bunch of releases upon the Dallas Cowboys, and the first one was number 77. I forgot who.
Yeah. Tyron Smith's number 77. You know, he will be missed here. The Jets got him now, and we can only hope that he play good enough so we can get a 5th round draft pick next season.
And did you hear about that Prescott contract gonna be we
all right, take your time, John. Yeah, we got you. You talking about Dak Prescott contract?
Yeah, it's a we move please up cap space.
No, I think that these are the 3 news that we heard from Dak Prescott. They restructured some of his money. They gave him upfront money, $5 million, and his cap hit is now $55 million. And the other $5 million will be kicked to the next year. So his next year dead cap hit will be $40 million. His people, his representatives, they've been in communications. According to James Slater, they may extend him in August, but things are contingent between the Todd France camp as well as the Joneses family camp. So this extension may not happen until August. So they'll wait until after the draft. They wait until pretty much after training camp, basically, or right around training camp. So look, enjoy the ride, because what that means to me is competition time.
Yes, it is.
Yep, that means competition time. Appreciate you so much for calling in, John. Let me hear you say it, bro.
How about the Dallas Cowboys? Go Cowboys!
Let's go, man. That's my guy, man. That's my big homie, man, John. And just a very, very good success story with John, and I can't wait for him to move up here to Dallas. And right now, I think he's in East Texas. So when he goes to the game, we undefeated too, by the way. So put your hands together for my guy John. He's a superhero. And my thing is with the Dak Prescott thing, and I know, like I said, regardless of these conversations, it all circle back to Dak, right? Subjective is success, right? Is Dak Prescott a successful quarterback? Y'all can put that down in the chat. You can say yay, put yes or no. Is Dak Prescott a successful quarterback, yes or no? Now, if they're waiting till August to extend Dak Prescott, what's ultimately, from my thoughts are, one, they're looking into this draft. They may still draft a quarterback. We don't know. There may be a quarterback that falls to the 24th spot. You can't remove that, right? If you go on BPA, and there could be a quarterback that fall to the 24th spot, right, for one. Two, they got to look at Trey Lance. This is a contract year for Trey Lance, right? I posted a video of him working out at 6 a.m. in the morning. People saying, "Law, why you hyping up Trey Lance?" No, it's content. It's the dead season. I'm going to put something out there. I'm a content creator, so I'm going to put some stuff out there. If Cooper Rush got some highlights out there, I'm going to put that out there. I don't have no favoritism going. On top of that, if the Cowboys want to make it a competition between Trey Lance, Cooper Rush, and Dak himself, yes, fight it out. Now, should Dak have to go through this? No, he shouldn't have to go through this. But it's the pathway that they decided to do with Dak Prescott, because he still got him by the short hairs. At the end of the day, he got them by the short hairs, and he every time they say a number that he don't like, Todd France squeezes them. You know what I'm saying? He squeezes them, you know. So at the end of the day, he's going to be a rich man regardless. He's going to get that money regardless, guaranteed money that we're talking about. So they're going to go in this offseason. If they don't extend that now, we already done passed up all of the premium stuff. You can have $100 million right now. Who you going to go get? There's nothing left. There's not a player out there left that you want to go out there and get in free agency, even if we had $100 million. I can say $100 billion right now. Who y'all want to go get? There's nobody left. Justin Simmons, yeah, but you don't want that long face contract, right? But what I'm saying is what the Cowboys are going to do is they're going to go into this draft. They're going to go into this draft, and they're going to go into this draft. They're going to draft whoever they think that's going to propel them into the 2024 season. They're going to go into training camp. They're going to look at Trey Lance. They're going to look at Cooper Rush. They're going to look at Dak Prescott. And if Trey Lance is enough to rev up this fan base to say, "Hey, man, look at that ball. Hey, woo! Did you see that? Oh, man, did you see that?" Then they say, "You know what, Dak? We're going to let you just play this out, buddy. We're going to let you play this one all the way out." Yeah. And we like what we see. We like where we are at, because the money done already, we got enough money to sign the draft players. Cooper Rush ain't going. Cooper Rush, if they were smart, they would put somebody out there to trade, for Cooper Rush and get something back in return. All right, I got. We're gonna lock it up right here.
The conference has been locked.
We got 3 callers left on the fray. We're gonna go with my guy from the 908 to 575, and I just saved Mar for the last. MJ for the last caller. Swayze, what's good with you?
What's going on, This is I don't know, man. This off season is kind of weird. It kind of reminds me of 2007 off season. Do you remember the 2007 off season? Well, we didn't really go out in free agency and really go get players. I think the only one we got was Ken Hamlin, something like that. That was the only safety. Similar to Kendrick Perkins. I mean, not what's his old dude, Kendricks, the linebacker. It was kind of similar signing that we had in 2007.
Man,
this kind of reminds me of that. Yeah, it just and also I looked at 105.3 The Fan today, and they was talking about Jonathan Brooks. That's straight clickbait. We is not getting Jonathan Brooks in the second round.
well, it started off with Slater. She been saying, hey, sources close to her. She been saying it for months now. A couple of months.
Stephen Jones.
It probably her source close to her, but it is what it is.
Because why would you tell everyone in the league, yeah, we're looking for a running back in the second round? Why would you show your poker cards? Does that even make sense?
Well,
you need competent business
well. Here's how the Cowboys move. If they come to the Dallas 30-day visits, you can guarantee you that they finna sign one of those guys. So if he's one of the guys on there, there's a percentage that he will be signed here.
Me personally, I now always said I wanted to run it back in the draft. It's just this draft based off this offseason, I'll probably look at running back in the 5th and 6th round. You need an offensive line and defensive line. Those are bigger needs. You definitely need a left tackle, a left guard, depending on where you putting Tyler Smith at. Okay. And you definitely need an interior defensive tackle. That's just something you need. A running back right now, because Dak Prescott, I think, is becoming a whole other level, right? I think that at least in the regular season, I think he can hold the fort now.
Right.
Me, I go 3-back system. I go with Vaughn, I go with Zeke, and I go with a running back in the 5th and 6th round that's a steal in the draft. Someone that's probably in trouble. That's probably what I would do. That'd be much more cost efficient, and also you'll end up drafting better needs in the upper rounds. Like Jonathan Brooks in the 2nd round with no offensive line. How he's gonna run the ball with no offensive line? That's a waste of pick, in my opinion. Unless you just on straight soft rebuild mode and you're looking at Trey Lance. But I don't see that. I see us eventually signing Dak. Eventually, and the reason why I think the contract is held off with Dak is because I think the no trade clause. I think Dak's agent Todd France is pushing for the no trade clause for the simple fact that we can't franchise tag him next year. So this is effectively his last year. So we don't have no leverage, and because we don't have no leverage, I think he's pushing for that no trade clause. And Stephen Jones, because he's so stubborn and he's bad negotiating, he's been blacklisted for a whole bunch of agents around the league because he don't know how to negotiate.
Boy, where you get that info from? Boy, you own it too. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You got to fabricate and create your own leverage at this point. And the only way you can create leverage, because Cooper is not enough, Trey is enough. And I'm not saying that Trey should be the starter of the quarterback over Dak, but I want people to hear me out. If you fool around and then they can still draft the quarterback, that's the craziest thing, right? And you just never know. I believe even the great Aaron Rodgers wasn't drafted all the way to the 24th pick, right? So you can still have quarterbacks to drop in this particular draft, and I don't know who it may be. You even had Lamar Jackson. I think he was drafted at the 28th or the 29th pick. So you can get guys as it relates to a first-round quarterback to drop. And from the Cowboys' mindset, they at one point wanted Paxton Lynch as their quarterback. So you just never know how the Joneses think collectively. But if you can fabricate any type of organic drama, because you can let the fan base create that. There's already a wedge within the fan base. And what can excite that would be training camp, right? You can excite that because there's no way that the Jones family is going to step out and walk out and say, hey, this is our quarterback. This is his spot. Not to lose. This is his spot. They're not going to do that. They didn't do it for Zeke when they said Zeke who, you know what I'm saying? When they were talking about Tony Pollard, and they didn't do it collectively for Dak Prescott when Cooper Rush were winning those games, right? They let that whole thing fester out. They didn't come out and say, hey, I get what Cooper Rush is doing, but this is our quarterback. They never claimed him that way. So it's one of those things. By August, if they do the renewal, that meaning that they are looking for organic training camp battles. That's just what it is.
Yeah, but that's just not how you run a team anymore. It just doesn't make sense, Lo. We could have signed him when we had all the leverage, when he was coming off a bad season with 23 touchdowns, 15 interceptions.
Oh, yeah.
That was the time to sign him to a 3-4 year deal that's much more team-friendly. But you wanted to wait. It just doesn't this team is not ran right. I don't get why people are not seeing this. I'm talking about it's a portion of Cowboys fan bases that they're brainwashed. It's it doesn't matter what the Joneses do. They feel like, oh well, this is the NFL, and it's hard to win in the league. And like we go 12-5 for 3 straight years. Like, come on, like, would you rather be the Jets? No, I'd rather be a well-run organization. Just because you went 12-5 3 straight years doesn't necessarily mean it's well-run. I think that you just have people placed in positions to pick players where he's just great at his job, which is Will McClay. Will McClay is he's elite at his job. He can get any GM job in the league. But like the Joneses, like I don't know, man. Like it's an illusion. Like the team is not ran right. It's like go back to the 2000, 2001, 2002 seasons. That's how our team is run today. Our team is run off of some straight nepotism, family-run organization, and the only difference is that Will McClay is just the person to pick the players in the draft. You kind of get what I'm saying? Like this is not a well-run organization, and I just think getting a running back in the second round, that is malpractice. You cannot do that with the needs that we have now. We need another wide receiver.
Man,
I'd rather get Brendan Rice in the third. Offensive line the first or second round, defensive line first or second round, get Brandon Rice, Jerry Rice's son in the third round.
Yeah.
Like that's a well-run organization. That's what a well-run organization would do. Not getting a running back in the second round, especially when you don't. The time to get a running back in the second round was last year, or a running back in the first round was last year.
Ooh, hush your mouth, man. Yeah, you're right. Because we all thought for sure that they was going to get that running back in the second round last year. But they went and panicked and they went and got a tight end because they was in fear of losing out on all of that production from Schultz, and they didn't understand what we saw. We saw it. We saw that Ferguson was enough. The year before last, we saw it as fans. We saw it. We saw it looking at his college tape, man, and we saw it even when he was wearing 48 before he wore 87. But the Cowboys just didn't see what we saw. Like, I would have been cool with what's the other guy, McEwen, as the third tight end, or the guy to step up to be our second tight end if Peyton Hendershot couldn't get it together, But they pulled the trigger on Luke Schoonmaker, and they panicked to me, and when they could have gotten a running back there, or the offensive or they could have got that offensive lineman there. Bergeron or whoever that was there available, the guy with the long-ass arms that went to I believe, the Cleveland Browns. But, it is what it is. That's what the Cowboys do, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, and also I just want to say this, man. Like, we're definitely in a soft rebuild, and again, like Cowboys fans, let's just enjoy the 2024 season. It's no great expectations. Like, if we go 8-9, that's cool. If we go 13-4, that's cool. Yeah. Like wherever side where we go, like end up going throughout the season, don't have crazy expectations. Just enjoy the season. That's really what it is. Like, that's what they're telling us, basically. Like, this is 2014 season over again.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you for calling in. That's my guy Swayze, man, for the 908. So just to fact check, I wanted to start doing this more. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, so these were our free agent guys in 07 that he was talking about. We signed Mark Colombo. Shout out to Mark. We signed Patrick Creighton and Martin Gramatica, Andre Gerard, and Matt McBriar. McBriar. That's how you say that, man. Matt McBriar. That's who we signed in 2007 free agency, going into that year, what have you. So yeah, man, we set on our, I don't know what was available during that time frame. The history index don't go to tell us who were available. But I think that, we gotten better between 07 and I think Will McClay first year was like 11, 12-ish, around that time frame. So that was the time frame that we got a little bit better with our player acquisition. Right? And I think for what he's saying is the only thing that really got us looking at this season differently from last season was the fact that we got Brandon Cooks and we got Stephon Gilmore. Those two spots we were already angry at those spots. But we were all bucked-eyed like this because we were looking at it like Terrence Steele, he going to be coming back off of that injury. Do you sign him or do you let him walk? And we had to know, man, if you're going to sign Terrence Steele to that big money's contract, you had to know that it's going to take some time for him to be back in good shape, form, or fashion. And then that's when we saw miniature videos from Duke Manyweather of Terrence Steele moving weight around. And we were like, hey, the Cowboys need to draft a right tackle. We don't have time. The window is about to close. They didn't do that. They went and paid my guy, Terrence Steele. And for what it's worth, I think Terrence Steele this season is going to be a whole lot better than what he was last season. And then they did the same thing with Tony Pollard. We were looking at it like, if you go back and look at all our draft reports, we were looking at it like, hey, this team should draft the running back early because Tony Pollard never seen this type of workload, plus coming off of an injury. If Tony Pollard never had the injury, I think that what he did last season would have been a whole lot better, right? And he would have been a whole lot more explosive, and we wouldn't have been able to go back and forth with this running back thing. But by and large, most of us already considered that he was going to have a downward year coming off of that injury. I got 575. You're live on the Nation. Talk to us.
Hey, how's it going, Law?
Going great, man. Can't complain, bro. Talk to me, man.
Yeah, I think we should get a running back in the draft because look at the teams that beat us last year. They didn't fear the running game, you know?
Right.
They all played zone on us.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
You know, they were daring us to run, and, you know, we never got nowhere. That's why we got our butts whooped.
Yeah, I mean, you set on routes. You forced the quarterback to throw in tight windows and said, hey, beat us. Beat us, Dak. You know, we would rather for you to beat us versus the run because the run is not even going to try. You know what I'm saying? So they dropped everybody, and that was the philosophy. Now, I talked about principles and concepts, and with West Coast, you're supposed to attack the short areas of the field, like underneath. You're supposed to give them some motion looks, force teams to load one side, and then you attack another. Some of those things were not prevalent in our games, but then I think they opened up the playbook a little bit more after week 5 or what have you, and then we saw some of those West Coast principles. I think that they said, the hell with all of this hitch routes and comeback routes of keeping some of the things that Kellen Moore had. Let's just ditch that and let's go back to this West Coast thing. So that's why you saw some busy action with Brandon Cooks on some deep overs, some deep crossers and things like that.
Yeah, but then once teams saw what we were doing, then they started playing zone on us because they seen we couldn't run.
They rolled coverage, yeah. Yeah, we just couldn't get people off the ball. The O-line didn't look like they was getting the push, and then the running backs were not even able to crease it on certain plays, and that cost us.
Yeah, you think that running back that you guys were talking about from the draft, do you think you could put some fear on some teams?
He's going to have to build that fear. He's going to have to build that up because the Cowboys are not working on that. You're going to have to establish that. That's why we were talking about bringing in an established back like a Derrick Henry or to a degree a punisher, a bruiser, somebody that can lay the wood and on players, and you instead of you having a lighter box, you say, hey, I got to get that extra safety down inside. And then that way you can start manipulating the field a little bit better with a Ferguson or with a Lamb to a degree when you start to use the mismatches, when you catch them with, instead of a extra linebacker, with an extra linebacker on the field, you know, you catch them with their pants down basically, you know. But we never got that chance. We pretty much played the inverse of what we look like. We played teams that had a lot of safeties and nickel corners out there on the field because they didn't need to put that extra linebacker out there because we didn't have any threat of the run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think about extending Dak and then just keeping Trey Lance to learn under him, like Jordan Love did with Aaron Rodgers, and he could be the future.
I mean, if you extend Dak, it's going to go way beyond the time that you're going to have to pay Trey Lance. So that's a conundrum. So if you extend Dak, you're doing it for what, 3 or 4 years? And the way the extension works, you would want that trade clause to be removed so that you can get from up under it. You know, I think that's what ultimately happened even with the I want to say the Green Bay. They traded him to the Jets, right? They traded Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. They didn't release him, didn't they?
I'm not too sure.
I'm not too sure of it as well. But if you try to do that model, you know, that's two different spectrums of those type of things. I think that Aaron Rodgers is closer to the 40s, right? He's not you become prime at quarterback when you hit 29, 31, 32-ish. That's when your prime areas of a quarterback. So that will be getting rid of your prime area of your quarterback right at that time. And that's what makes even Pat Mahomes such a dangerous quarterback, because he haven't even hit his prime yet. And we talking about a whole nother animal there. So the Cowboys, I don't know what they should do in this particular moment, because most of the premium picks are already gone. But if you extend Dak Prescott in August, that's kind of like, you know, putting lipstick on a pig at that point.
Yeah, because it seems like they're going like if they want the team to fail so they could just start all over again. To me, it looks like.
I mean, there'll be a crazy way to look at it, but yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic. I got to see these boys at least play. It's still March. We got to get the draft going, but I refuse to think that they would sacrifice the entire year for guys that's in their youth, like the Michael Parsons, like the Trayvon Diggs of the world, right? I don't think that most teams that consider themselves in that middle place to be able to tank are terrible teams that can only win 2 or 3 games, you know, right? So I don't foresee this team winning only 2 or 3 games. We don't suck that bad. Even when the days we had Jason Garrett, we never sucked that bad with 2 or 3 wins.
Yep. But you think they would be like trying to, you know, get some players to help this team instead of letting some go, and now we're in the hole trying to get players.
No, I don't think they're trying to get them. They think that they already got them. You see what I'm saying? When you're trying to get something, you go out there and get it. But when you already say that you got it, you don't try to go out there and get it. There's an old saying in Mississippi, that dog don't hunt no more. Well, the Cowboys, that dog don't hunt anymore, right? They're not out there looking. They're sitting, you know, on the porch, and they're watching everybody else move because they feel as if though they already got their bone at home. Appreciate you for calling in, man. Thank you so much, bro.
All right, thanks, man.
Yes, indeed, man. And I hope y'all get that reference. That dog don't hunt, right? Man, when we was in our 20s, man, and shoot, we were young, boy, we go out there and hunt, man. Shoot, we go out there, go to every club that it is. You know what I'm saying? Stay out all night until the lights come on. You know what I'm saying? To the moonlight cut on. Let me see if I can. You know, me and my brother was talking about this, you know. We were talking about this. I think I tweeted his out. You know, yeah. Dazzy did this, you know. Man, that used to be us back in the days, man. Man, we'll party and be all day at a house party, man. We'll be everywhere, man. We will look for places to go. That dog on a hunt right there. See, he hunting. You know, he's shaking things. He following. Yeah. See, he on a hunt. But when you get old, man, you just sitting at the house. You chilling. You ain't finna be out there in the streets. Yeah. So that's where he's at. He's at a hunt session right there. Yeah. The Cowboys definitely ain't doing it. No. That's other teams right there. Yeah. That's what they doing right there. You know, they fighting for that pick right there. You know, they fighting for it. Yeah. They pull out the straps now. You got to turn it away. But you guys give me what I'm saying is that dog don't hunt anymore. Yeah. Those were the days. Ain't the right Italian. You know what I'm saying? we just sitting back chilling, man. You know, we ain't on that hunt groove no more. We ain't trying to do that. You know, way. Ain't that right, man? For my guy, I think he still had parties where he at though in L.A. from the 206. MJ, you live, man. Talk to us, man.
What up, Law? How you doing, brother?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
I'm still, Law.
What's up?
I got to tell y'all something now. You can't get mad at them, Law, because y'all said the Jones didn't know who they had. The Jones didn't pick that guy. Y'all got to keep telling y'all.
What
if
guy?
the Jones would have been drafted for the Cowboys, you'd have had the quarterback from Texas A&M instead of number 70.
You talking
guys
about?
Gotta stop getting on here and stop lying. Y'all try to get the Joneses, even though y'all be tearing them up. You know, they be boneheads, but the Jones is not that damn smart to get number 70 for the quarterback from Texas A&M. They would have had his sorry ass.
You talking about Johnny Manziel? You talking about Johnny Manziel?
So stop saying that. If
What
the
you
Jones
mean?
would have made the draft, they would have had Tony McZell.
If the Jones, no, but there was two fights. There's two fights. At the end of the day, there was two fights. There was Stephen Jones versus Jerry Jones. So are you mean to tell me? Because hold on.
Let me finish.
Let me say this though. Let me say this.
All right, going on.
There was not just the Joneses or Stephen Jones saying that Johnny Manziel wasn't a good fit. There were millions of people saying that Johnny Manziel wasn't a good pick.
That's what I'm
There were
trying to
millions.
tell you.
So you can't. That's just making the right decision. You know, we can't applaud them for making the right decision. That's the right decision.
But that's what I'm saying though. Even though it's their team law. Okay, say me and you the agent and we in that room. I heard Brothers like this how it go, y'all. The Jones be sitting in there. Then the agents and everybody be fighting for their player.
Right.
And then the Jones, he'll make the decision. Now the tight end, Shoemaker, one of his players. Mozzie was by Quinn. Quinn picked Mozzie. They gave Quinn his first pick. Then they did the draft, and then the tight end was McCourty pick.
Right.
Shoemaker. That's how they do it.
And what we're saying is what we're saying is and I get your frustration and I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But we can't applaud we can't applaud people for taking a bath when you're supposed to take a bath anyway, right? That's just all it is. You can't say, "Oh man, let's give them a hand clap. Let's clap their hands for taking a bath." No, those are things that they're supposed to do. You're supposed to wash your face and brush your teeth in the morning. We don't supposed to give them a parade for doing that. That's what they supposed to do.
Y'all come on here every day, you and the fans and everybody, and it's irritating. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm starting to be like your boy M. Breezy. I was never like that, cause M. Breezy hates Dak Prescott. I listen to his podcast. And Breezy be tearing you and the fans up and all the other podcasts. Because y'all be come over here crying. Man, let them boys pick. Whoever they get, I don't give a hell. Let them go in camp and fight it off, just like you said. Now, the Cowboys been out-drafted all the teams. That's why the Joneses, they be bragging. I know y'all hate it, but they say them fools will make them, all them teams making them picks, and they going to pick all them old-ass players. And a lot of them old-ass players ain't going to do nothing. And our young boys going to kick their ass. And that's what they've been doing. The Jones has been winning, y'all. They got us. So y'all can be on here crying all day. Talking about, the Jones don't know what they're doing. Hell yeah, the Jones do know what they're doing. Because they saving money. They making money. They franchise about to be about $20 billion, $30 billion, $50 billion. It's going to keep rising. And they still going to keep winning because they outdoing the other players' teams. And the other players' teams like the Jets, Atlanta, all of them is 4-5, 4-10. They winning, Lord. We got to stop coming on here. I know y'all get mad, I get mad. They kicking our ass. They winning, Law. They winning on the cash, and they winning with the players, Law. You got to give him credit, Law. 12-5, 12-5, 12-5.
We
the last
we gave them credit on 12-5. That's my staple piece of saying that. Go ahead.
No, you gave them credit, but the people that you got on this show coming on here keep crying. Oh, they don't know what they doing. Hell yeah, they do know what they doing. They got us at 12-5. I mean, we got a chance to keep bragging.
What they are arguing, what they're angry about is that. Yeah, remember, subjective, right? Success is subjective. 12-5 to you and your world, and even my world to a degree, is good, but it's not good enough to lift up that Lombardi trophy.
It is good, Law. You know why? Because I'm going to tell you, the guy finna tear y'all up again, and I know he listening. He's finna tear you, Dak Prescott fans up.
Who are you referring to?
Breezy.
We don't even know who he is. We don't know if he exists. He's a fictitious, imaginary person. I don't know who he is.
Law, he got a show going, Law.
Man, there's 1,000 people. There's 1,000 people with shows. There's 1,000 people with shows.
I'm going to send it to you, Law. I look at him Breezy's show, and he be making points. I say, yeah,
why should I value him? Why should I value him? I don't know who he is.
I'm going to tell you why you should brag. That's why you should brag. That's all you should. He like me, Law. I'm a Cowboy fan before Jerry Jones, because I'm older than y'all. You know what I'm saying? I've been here before all y'all. I've always been a Cowboy fan. Even though when we lose, before y'all, some of y'all probably started being a Cowboy fan 10 years ago. Shut the hell up. We've been winning, we've been losing. But for right now, we got a winning streak going. The key is getting into the playoffs. Even if you're 9-8, like Green Bay did, long as you get in the playoffs, like the Giants did. Well, in 2007, just like you said, we had the number 1 seed, and the Giants would beat everybody. And
why did they beat us? And why did they beat us?
They beat us because we didn't call right plays, coaching.
So it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared.
And don't make excuses, we have our chances. We have 3 chances to go to the playoff.
We had chances, but we were not prepared. We were not focused. We were not focused.
No, we can't. No, you can't do that, Law.
We were not focused.
Brandon now, Law. We had a chance to beat
just be like
Bay.
MJ, man. Look, I get your frustration, but remember this.
And we keep making excuses. Let's stop making excuses. That's all I'm saying. I want to win, but y'all keep making excuses. Y'all know how they do. We've been doing this for the last.
Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this, Marv, and I try to bring it back home. Can an elephant climb a tree?
No.
Okay. So what's the excuse?
He used his trunk to get up the tree, so he got the advantage to grab what he wants. So he got the advantage.
So stop trying to make this elephant climb a tree. That's all we trying to do here,
we
Marv.
No.
What we're saying is that there are written, proven examples of teams lifting up a Lombardi trophy on the things and how they move during the offseason. And how
New England, Kansas City, and one time Rams got lucky, and I was going for the Rams because I'm in LA, but we got lucky because they cheated the 49ers. That wasn't no pass interference. They called 2 pass interference.
Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah, that's what they got. They got lucky.
They prepared. Wait a minute, you can't talk. That's like a double entendre. Now you said stop the excuses, then you bring in luck. Wait a minute, those two things don't exist. What?
You gonna get luck, but law. We've been winning, law. We just can't get over the hump with the coaching guys. Look,
and why we can't get over the hump, MJ? Why we can't get over the hump?
This is why we don't get over the hump. Bad preparation by your coaching staff, the defensive coordinator. Now, like I said again, he even though we still had a chance to win. Even though, look, I seen a game where Brady was so horrible. Oh, he was so horrible. He was horrible. And then they gave him that last chance, 1 minute and 50 seconds left. And he went down and win. That's what Brandon talking about, Law. They mad at Dak Prescott because when they had an opportunity Even though we may play horrible, we may have 20 penalties, and then look, we down by 4. It's 2 minutes left in the game, Law. Okay, Prescott, let's go, Prescott. Come on, offensive coordinator. And we don't go nowhere. That's what everybody get mad at Dak Prescott, and you guys making them guards get madder and madder at Dak Prescott because y'all keep coming on here making excuses for that. No, I don't care if we fumble the ball 20 times. Oh, I'm going to give you a good example, dog. You remember that Buffalo game against Buffalo and Tony Romo quarterback, and Tony Romo threw like 5 interceptions? Remember that game?
Right.
And then what happened, Law? We found a way to win. That's what they want Dak Prescott to do, Law. That's
all
what
right,
I'm saying.
so hold on.
No, Law. Forget the Green Bay game.
Listen.
We just got beat.
You talking about a regular season game, not a playoff game for one. And you talking about also we regular season is not our fault. Right now we talking about regular season is not our issue. We're not talking about regular season. We talking about when the moments matter the most. We talking about playoff time. Can this team?
You better stick your hand in some doo-doo, Law. Look,
I'm sticking my ear in some doo-doo right now because you're not comprehending.
Brandon gonna get you now. Look,
who's Brandon?
And I won't. Look, Law. Listen, Law. Law, I love you, Law, but listen to this, Law. Me and you want Dak Prescott to succeed. You know, me and you are defensive.
No, I want the Cowboys to succeed.
Listen, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Forget the Green Bay game this year. We got our butt on both sides. You know, forget that. Okay, 2021, let me say it again. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. We stopped San Francisco. It's 23-17, Law. We got the ball again, Law. What did we do, Law?
It don't matter. We lost.
Yes, it do. That's a playoff game. That's what they're trying to tell you, Law. See, you're not listening, Law.
Bro,
Dak Prescott got to take us down the field and win, Law.
You trying to quantify. Look, Dak this year is his last season. Dak, this is his last season here. So you got to get beyond of just saying Dak. Because at the end of the day, that team collectively had 14 penalties. No team in the history. Hold on. No team in the history of the NFL won a playoff game with 14 penalties, bro.
We could have been the first, Law.
We could have been the first, and pigs can't learn how to fly. And that elephant can climb a tree. And that elephant can climb the tree. That elephant can climb the tree. That elephant can climb the tree. That elephant can be the first one to climb a tree. Yeah.
You just burnt yourself.
Yeah. The elephant can climb a tree.
The first team to beat a number 2 seed. Why we couldn't be the first team to have penalties with that stupid Kellen Moore offense to come back and beat Green Bay?
And how come the Green Bay didn't win the Super Bowl this year? What's their excuse?
It doesn't matter. We talking about us, Law. Forget the Green Bay. We talking about Cowboys.
It's all in the same world. So you want to feel better. You wanted to feel better. You wanted to feel better if we figure out a way to magically beat the Green Bay Packers in the way we were playing on defense. That would have been sustainable enough for the next game.
No, I just said that. Forget that. I was so mad at that defensive coordinator. He scammed us. So I ain't talking about him.
Why you jumping from Dak to now the defensive side?
No, I said you didn't listen, though. I said forget the game this year. We got our butt whooped. I'm not blaming Dak Prescott for that game. That was bad coaching and bad playing. I'm saying a lot of fans get mad at you guys because y'all keep crying about the Joneses and you keep crying about we didn't do this, get this player. We didn't get Michael Jordan. We didn't get Tony Dorsett. We didn't get Anthony Dickinson. But we had the players to win. It's coaching.
What players do we have to win the Super Bowl? What players did we have to win the Super Bowl?
Boy, we had a lot of players, Law. Fergie's cold-blooded. Fergie's bad. Fergie was cold-blooded. They drafted Fergie in the 4th round. Why the other team didn't draft Fergie, Law? You see what I'm saying? We got the players, Law, and then our fast receiver.
Man,
they ran
Marquise
the
Bell,
wrong route.
boy. That Marquise Bell, boy, he
Oh,
should have been able to win the Super Bowl for us.
No, don't do that, Law. So you trying to bring back the Green Bay. We already knew that was a bust game. See, Law, you trying to be slick.
Wait a minute. What year are you referring to that we had the ultimate team to win the Super Bowl?
2021.
Okay.
We should have beat the 49ers.
All right, and then what we gonna do the next week?
And then 2022, when the game was tied 6-6, Kellen Moore calls a dumb play, a pass on 2nd and 2 before halftime, and we bought the. And the 49ers fans, they was quiet.
So with that being said, look, it's not a monologue. This should be a dialogue. You know. So what you're saying is, Marv, is that all of a sudden, what you saying is, MJ, is that all of a sudden, Kellen Moore should have been smarter. Not that game, but the next game, he'd have magically gotten smarter and got wisdom and understanding to call better plays if we were to make the corrections in that game.
Bad coach. Bad coach.
I mean, we would have been able to be prepared because Tony Pollard did get hurt. He did get hurt.
That was no excuse.
Oh my goodness! And so we were gonna go on this magical run with Zeke, who was averaging 1.5 yards per tote. He was averaging 1.5, and they were only rushing 4.
We making excuses, Law.
Oh my goodness!
Stop making excuses.
So that elephant can climb the tree. That elephant can climb the tree.
Law. We had Davis. Was getting every time he got in the game.
They didn't put Davis in the game because they said.
I know.
So you arguing? Wait a minute. But how we gonna win without coaching?
Look,
who hired the coaches?
Hey, Law. I'm a Cowboy. I'm a Cowboy before the Joneses, before any player. I'll go with the Cowboy. If you come coach the Cowboy, I'm rooting for you. If you become owner, Law, I'm rooting for you. I don't give a shit about no players or whatever. Y'all be getting caught up with these players. Y'all love these players. Man, stop that. They're going to get traded.
Man,
some they going to keep.
One of these days, you're going to listen back to this, and you're going to realize that, damn, you're right. That Law was right. That elephant, at the end of the day, he can't climb the tree.
Law, I hate excuses, Law.
Well, that elephant going to have to learn how to climb the tree, bro.
Law, why we got to keep making excuses, Law?
Because the excuses are facts you don't want to hear.
No,
that's what it is. That elephant can't climb the tree.
As a team, we
that elephant can't climb. That elephant can't climb the tree.
That's why all the people mad. Look, Law, we 50-50. Everybody pissed off. See, you guys, I like this Prescott. He's my quarterback.
But they don't win you games. Likeness don't win you games.
But listen,
appreciate you, man. I gotta go, man. It's 3:35, right, man. I gotta go, man.
Shout out to Law Nation and Law. We love you. Good show. And you and the fans, stop making excuses. We got the players. We just got to do it, Law.
My God, man. I sat around here and I went against my own rule. You know what I'm saying? Those. Write this down, y'all. And I don't know whoever Mr. Breezy is. I don't know who he is. Right? I'm quite sure he know who I am. If he a Cowboy fan, if he follow the Cowboys, I don't know who he is. And shout out to him on his independent thoughts or whatever he do for the Cowboys community. Look, we got a new content creator every day. But write this down. Write this down, ladies and gentlemen. Those who convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. At the end of the day, I can't expect elephants to fly. I can't expect elephants to climb a tree. And when they're not capable of doing these type of things, for me to all of a sudden say, hey man, stop making excuses, man. Stop making excuses. There are 31 other teams at the end of the year gonna say, damn, no excuses, no excuses, no excuses. But when they ultimately lose, they're going to say, man, these are the excuses. Only one team can say that there's no excuse at the end of the year, and that's the team that lift up the Lombardi Trophy. I'm old enough to remember the Eagles. They were winning All year long, all year long. No excuse. That was that mantra. No excuses, no excuses. They get to the Super Bowl, they ultimately lose. And then they say, hey, man, the field was slick, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, they start calling these old crazy calls, man. Hey, that was a face mask. Now all of a sudden excuses came. Who remember that, right? That's just what it is. Ravens, no excuses all last season, right? No excuses. And then now all of a sudden they need Derrick Henry to help out the MVP Lamar Jackson. That's crazy, huh? Come on, man. hey, roll tide. I see you, boys, fan 804. Come on, Riggs. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, I appreciate everybody for jumping in and being part of these type of episodes. Hey, I didn't realize that my time escaped. Letting Marv yell at my ears. And there are even some things that I do agree with him. I do. But at the end of the day,
Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives all the same.
Destiny.
And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
You see, it took a whole entire Avengers team just to beat one Thanos. One Thanos. Hulk couldn't do it by himself. Thor couldn't do it by himself. Captain America couldn't do it by himself. Iron Man couldn't do it by himself. Oh, y'all name them. Doctor Strange couldn't do it by himself. Literally, they had to create a whole cheat code. Go into the past, collect some rings, and then jump back and fight them. Thanos whooping ass all over the field. What was their excuses? You had to come up with a strategy. You had to come up with a scheme and a concept. You had to plan out some things. And even when they had to jump on him, he was still able to whoop some ASSs around there. You know what I mean? Superman could have done it, yes indeed. Until Thanos figured out kryptonite was one of his weaknesses. Thanos would have been able to get some kryptonite in his gloves and then snap this thing. He would beat Superman, Kal-El, and all of those boys. He would have zapped the whole entire planet. Thanos. It took multitudes of people. So even Superman can't beat Thanos. That's crazy. Because Thanos is really smart and intelligent too. But neither here nor there. Cowboy Nation. Everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. You can talk about all of the weapons you got, but if you don't have the right pieces and you're weak in a certain spot, you will lose.
Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here.
Now it's here, baby.
Or should I say?
I am. So if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for, to work day and night, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, a plan, to lose all terror of your mind, if you would just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, with faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity. If neither poverty, famish, or sickness, or the body or brain can turn you away from the thing you want. If dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty, that elephant can climb that tree if he's willing, or even fly. But not on Earth. Not on Earth. Maybe Earth 12 or Earth 13. You got flying elephants and ants tipping over an elephant. Maybe you got that over there. but not over here, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Once again, thanks to all of the sponsors. Shout out to everybody. If I miss out on your super chat, we'll double back again, but I got to split like hair, baby. Shout out to Prize Picks once again. Be sure to check out Prize Picks. Be sure to check out all what we do over here. DC for life, not for short. Let's get it, man. Let's get it, man. Let's go. Somebody said 9 All-Pros or 9 Pro Bowlers, not all pros. I got pros, I got pros. That's what we call a popularity contest. You're looking at all pros, not Pro Bowlers. Remember, Tyler Biadasz, a Pro Bowler. No offense to Tyler Biadasz. Or Bigger Dish. We out. Peace.